What is going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I am late, but as you can see, I am not in my normal studio. I am actually in my office, my home office, and the main reason that is because of there is a flood in my basement, and so, uh, due to that, or there's like a leak. We don't know what's going on. Started yesterday. I had a family friend. Hey Ian, how's it going? I had a family friend in, and so AV good location. Okay, thank you, thank you there, Marcus. I can my next little thing. Thanks Ian for being a purple supporter. Uh, and so yeah, there is a flood down there. And there's like fans going, there's still water happening. We don't know what's going on. Um, think it has to do with one of the drainage pipes and something like that. I don't know. But it doesn't affect the actual studio. It's another part of the area. So that's a good thing. Like none of my like gaming equipment or memorabilia, none of that's messed up. But there are fans, and Remy was having a hard time because the engines, like they're kind of bigger fan, like they're like commercial, like dehumidifying fans. And so Remy was having a problem down there, and I was like, I don't want to like. He was gonna stay down there and stream with me, but I decided just to come up here. So that's what's going on. Is that we're now up here, so you get to see probably a little bit different area of the purple haze thing. I try to make it a little bit purple. Like that light was from my previous setup at the apartment before I moved. So that's different, and there's still some gaming stuff here. As you can see, there's like a little bendy stuff there. So there's still some stuff. Hey Zalik, how are you? But yeah, for the most part, I am streaming directly, like it's like old, like how I used to do it is straight from my Chromebook. So we'll see. I did do a Chromebook stream like 3 or 4 months ago, and that worked. Y'all couldn't tell. So hopefully this one it looks great. Your new spot does it. Yeah, we'll see. Purple is creamy. Lives in a hexagon. Do I? I don't know about that. Hey, Paul. Um, so yeah, so we got a couple of different things to talk about. I only have one game trailer to show. So just so you all know, um, next week I will not be streaming Shades of Purple because it is a major holiday that I'll be celebrating with my family here in the US. And so given that, we won't do it. But the week after is like New Year's Day. I think it's like the first, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's the second. I don't know. It's one of those days. And I will be doing the Shades of Purple, and that's when we're going to do our 26 games for 2026. Will be on that day. With that said, we're going to be playing a game, and I'll explain more about it in Discord, but essentially it's going to be a bingo card. So you get to create your own bingo card, and you can take a picture of it or just let me know what it is. But in that bingo card, you get to like create what you think are going to be the 26 games I'm going to announce, right? And we're going to give award to the person who gets bingo first, and we're going to give an award to the person who can get the most of my 2026 games on their card. All right. So again, it'll be like 2026 game awards, and you get to fill out your own card for whatever games you think. It could be just the games you like and you want to showcase that, and that's totally okay. But if you want to play the game, it's going to be you get to do your own card. So like let's just, if it was this year, right, 2025, let's say you put on your card Shinobi. All right. Well, Shinobi was like one of my like games for 2020. Actually, I don't think Shinobi was one of my games for 2025. So let's use a game that was Little Nightmares 3. Let's say you put Little Nightmares 3 on it. Well, then you would have got like one of the you got that box, right? So we're gonna be doing that for 2026. Hopefully that makes sense. I may have confused y'all, but we'll see. Hey, Lindsay Choose, what's going on? I'm playing Metagora. Oh, let me know what you think of it, Roster. Let me know what you think. I was actually just downloaded a different Metroidvania today. Also, Mel, I saw your PlayStation video. Your PlayStation video popped up right as I got in here. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Y'all go check out Mel, go check out Lens of Truth, go check out all of just great people. Rousters in here. I was watching Marcus G. Knight do pirate game from Ubisoft, Black Flag, I think is what it's called. I've never played it. And you got Zalik as well. We got a lot of really cool people in here today. And we got Ambi. So hopefully everyone's doing well. All right. So we're going to be talking about a couple of different things that was in the news over the last few weeks or days or months. You'll understand when I get to those. I did not see the Xbox one, so I'll have to see that. But the PlayStation one popped up now. And so we're going to be doing that. I have one trailer. I'm going to showcase today. Because next week we're going to be doing, or in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing like 20 trailers. We're going to have a ton of trailers in 2 weeks. So I don't want to like get ahead of that. So if you've been watching my streams, you'll probably get at least half of the games I'm looking forward to in 2026 I've showcased, but there are some I have not. So I think that's going to be kind of cool to show you all some of the games I haven't showcased, but that are actually games I'm really, really looking forward to. That's in 2 weeks. They were much longer than I expected they were going to be. Oh my goodness. I love your videos anyway, Mel. So no big deal for me. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about a couple of different things. We got some updates on some lawsuits, and we have a lot of people are making a big deal about console gaming dying. I was watching Crazy Louis stream earlier today, so I do want to hit on that. And yeah, we just got a couple of things. People are upset with former Game of the Year winners and studios. So I do want to get your opinions on that. And yeah, so we'll just be going from there. Attempting to scrub your channel and get AI to create my grid. Ooh, maybe. That might be a good one. Like I said, some of them, I'm going to tell you, like, you got to go which strategy you want. Do you want to go for like the person who gets the most of my 2026? Or do you want to get the one who gets it the fastest, right? So it's kind of interesting because you gotta have to know, like, if you want to get bingo the fastest, you kind of have to know what my list is from like 15 to 26, right? But if you want to get the most, you really have to dig deep. And I mean, I'm just telling you, like, there's a handful of them that I've not showcased. So I think it should be fun. In 2 weeks' time, yep, it's gonna be a long one. Last year, I think that stream was like 2 hours. This year is gonna probably be a little. I'm gonna try to do it faster. Like I'm gonna try to find shorter trailers. But yeah, like the last week I've been actually looking for stuff. Mel, maybe to say the least. I need to get off of Twitter. Yeah, you do. Well, Mel, I would love to get your point of view on it. So with that said, let's start. Y'all want to start? Y'all want to start with some of these? So there's a couple of different ones that are doing that are like Larian is in a little bit of a scammy. Is that what we would start with? So there's a couple of things. So if y'all don't know, Larian Studios they made Baldur's Gate 3. We actually got a couple of stories with Larian. And here, actually, let's not do that way. Let's not do that one. Let's do it like this. All right. So Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year 2 years ago in 2023. Voice actors really pissed off about Larian using AI. And so I kind of like, and Larian has gotten, I don't have the article up today, but if you haven't been tracking, the CEO of Larian, who just like a couple of months ago was like the darling of the industry, the CEO of Larian said, "Hey, we are, using AI for like concepts and things like that." And gamers are upset, right? And I understand why they're upset. You know what I mean? At the same time, I don't understand why they're upset. And here's what I mean. Like, I feel like Larian is not saying that they're only going to use AI voice actors. I am saying that I think they're using it AI as scaffolding. Like that's what they've said. And to me, AI is no different than any other like tech tool. I think when you do everything in AI, which y'all who've played with AI would know, like, unless you're Marcus Gienite, because he thinks AI is the second coming or third coming, whatever. But when you use AI, you realize it can't really supplement, but it could act as like a placeholder. And I'm actually okay for that. In my opinion, like especially someone like Larian who's like, yo, we need to like have placeholders in there. We need to have like the segment of a script. But as long as there's still like a human in the loop, then it's like a tool. Hey, Cage the Gamer. I'm not sure if Linz was here. Um, all of it. So like that's my take on this. But obviously, people are upset, right? And I think that's warranted. However, I also just think like if someone were to put out AI, like totally replace a voice actor or actress with AI, I feel like it would come through in the game. Like you would see it. You would definitely see it in the storytelling. Like I don't think AI does good storytelling. Would you see it in the dialogue? I don't know about that. Like I think it's the equivalent. Like if I said, "Hey AI, give me like an introduction for like I don't know a ninja in space." Would you see that? I, I don't know. Like with a human editing it, I don't know. To me, I get why people are upset, but I also get like I also can't tell. Hey, Abby, thanks for the gifted. Um, but let me see what y'all have to say. Let me see what y'all say. I don't hear Chinese or Greek almost here. They outnumber Twitter. Okay, I see it. I don't think so they'd be using it for their voices from what I've seen. I think they only said that about the concept. Yeah, exactly, Mel. I think you're right. That's what I said. I think they're using it for concepts to understand. And from that, I just don't think AI is like any different than any other tool in that regard. Yes, it can generate a concept quicker, but it's still like a concept. Like maybe you're saying you would use a concept artist to do something, but even like concept art is very many times that's like sample art. You're not paying for that either. So I don't know. I'm a little the criticism. I'm a little mixed from what they're getting. Um, but I would say most the comment there, like this person's really upset. I would say most everybody's struggling now. We're actually going to talk about that as well. So that's the first thing that Larian kind of is feeling some heat for. And please let me know your thought if you have some different thoughts on like AI in general, right? Like I said, I think it's AI is really useful in the beginning of a project, especially when you're trying to get your thoughts together, or you just want to see like you want to test out some themes and you can generate it really quickly. But I think in the final product, it definitely comes through if you're using AI. That's my thing. All right. But let me know if you want to come back to that. I just thought I would put it in there. Um, but I told you we got some more stuff about Larian, right? So here's the next one. Let's do this. Uh so Divinity, if y'all remember that trailer, maybe I should have showcased that trailer. It's the trailer where someone gets like burned alive. It was like the very most eye-popping trailer, probably the best. I would say if marketing, you're trying to like have people remember your product. I think most people who watch that trailer remember it. So great job for the Larian marketing team. However, um, doesn't mean that the Baldur's Gate 3 team is not facing a lot of pressure, right? So they came out with Baldur's Gate 3, supposedly sold 20 million copies. I was not one of those 20 million people, but maybe you were. And now everybody's like, oh, Divinity has to live up to that. And I understand gamers wanting that. I also feel like that's not really realistic all the time. I don't know. It's just kind of my like I feel like I sympathize, and y'all know like I've never really talked about Larian like this that much, but I sympathize with that team just because like it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna knock it out the park again. And it's like, no, sometimes it's not gonna be bigger, it's not gonna be better for everybody. It may just be like really good for like half that number. And like selling 10 million games is still like really impressive. But here's where I also feel like gamers, like people will say the customer is always right. I don't actually believe that. I feel like the customer is very important, but I don't think the customer is always right. Because if you give a customer everything they want, eventually, sometimes, like I think there's a balance there. And if you always give them something that could come to detriment of a longer term vision. So again, I feel for the team, but let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all can say it. Y'all can be like, Purple, you're wrong. And I'll take it. I'll take it. But let me see what you guys think. People think I like AI. I think they think AI is Gemini and ChatGPT. The AI systems I'm watching are chain the world one gene at a time. There you go. Told you, Marcus. Second coming. Marcus is talking higher level again. I've been conflicted on this whole situation. There's definitely good arguments on your side, and it's a far more nuanced discussion than some people give it. I totally give you, Mel, totally hear you. I've kind of hated AI. I was playing with an AI enhancing programs for my sketches. It was kind of fun. I made these pics. Not sure if it's ethical to use them as emotes though. Say, look, share them. At least share them on our Discord. Let's see what AI was able to do. I would love to see that. There will be two types of studio 3 years from now. Ones that use ML and unknown ones. TV killed the radio star. Did it? Did it? Oh, so especially if the customer is stupid. True. Like I feel, I mean, if you think about it, podcasting, which is originally from radios, right? Podcasting's like huge. YouTube just put out what their podcasting numbers are, and they're like, I think it's like 80 billion YouTube watch hours were being watched via podcast. It's like one of their fastest growing segments. And so that's like radio in a way. Like if anything, I feel like if in or maybe it was that like 80 billion hours of podcasts were watched on TV. I don't know. I think these things are being blurred more and more and more. And but I also feel like you're right. I think there's going to be the people who use machine learning in their games, but I also think there's always going to be a segment of people who are like what is a retro game right now? You know, I was just playing a game today that has a very retro art style, right? And if that game had came out, oh, I'm going to date myself, 18 years ago, like 15 years ago, people would be like, that's stupid. It looks like a Super NES game. But yeah, but I think there's a whole segment of people who like Super NES game looks today. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the future is going to look like. I have a feeling it's going to look a lot like Roblox or whatever the evolution of Roblox is. But if I had to guess, I guess there's going to be two types of studios, like the big production studios and the more hobbyist creator studios. That's how I would actually differentiate it. Like which one like are you? But we'll see. I think it's if you aren't really a professional slash business that can afford to pay for it. True. Let me say I fixed for you back when it was your birthday. Oh, cool. Ralph the Rate. See, it looks like roster's banned from my channel. Um, so yeah, we'll see. The weird thing is when I tried to do more stuff like it kept saying it couldn't because of copyright. Oh, really? I've never got a copy, but I also don't use AI for pictures. We actually could have done a whole segment today about Disney, right? Disney has joined in a joint venture with ChatGPT to license out their characters on to ChatGPT. I don't know, like some people are like, "Oh, YouTube or Disney's folding." But again, I feel like if people wanted to draw Mickey Mouse, they can draw Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? If they wanted like artists who know how to draw these characters. Like you can look at Lens of Truth, right? Lens of Truth has an entire like video series of him being able to draw video game characters just as if they're in the video game. So if you're saying like, hey, draw, I don't know, Winnie the Pooh, and I use Winnie the Pooh specifically because I think that copyright dropped already. But if you were like, use Winnie the Pooh and make like a T-shirt or something with Pooh playing tennis, I don't know why that came to my head. Then like you can already do that. I don't know. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. People are also hugely underestimating the coup. That the coup that Epic have pulled off, bringing people onto Unreal Engine 5, developing branches like the NVIDIA Red branch under CD Project Red. No idea what you just said there, Marcus, but I will unpack it here in a second. More people need to separate their emotional attachments from studios they treat as infallible, because these expectations will eventually be undermined. Yes. Yes, I think Cowboy was one of the first people that really start to say, like, don't get attached to corporations or to studios. I get people are I also okay, so I actually had a conversation with someone, maybe this weekend, and we were talking about why some gamers hold on to this let me go big again, or let's do this. Why some gamers hold on to this idea of like what gaming used to be or what a studio used to be, or like um yeah, they just hold on to it and they're like gaming's changing and they don't want it to change, and it's like, but it's almost like fighting a losing battle because like everything changes, you know what I mean? If we look at the evolution of video games, like they've changed, and they've remained the same time. It's kind of interesting. And so this person was telling me the reason why gamers like fight tooth and nail like that is because it's like the last thing that they have that they're trying to hold on to. So I think like this argument around AI is the same deal. Like people are going to use it. You know what I mean? But is it still enjoyable? Does it still have emotion? Does it still like bring that to it, to bring it to the forefront? Like, can you still feel the game? You know what I mean? And that is something I think you still have to have a human involved. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I always put that out there. That's what happened with Bethesda. What happened with Naughty Dog, with CD Project Red, and now with Larian. Well, with Bethesda, that's interesting. I think all of those are different, right? Like, but you're right. CD Project Red, Larian. I mean, the expectations are super high for these groups. Some of them have like hit their prime. They already had a moment. So I'm glad you brought that up, Mel. I think I look at the new wave of developers, right? So we know Larian is going to be there. Like they have a game of the year now. Um, we obviously know whatever the studio that made Expedition 33. I'm going to be really interested in their next game because I feel like a lot of people gave them some pat. Let me say, like, I think it's a great game. We talked about this, but I think they got a pass on some things because they were an indie game. And So what does the third one look like? You know what I mean? But at the same time, if they know their fans, like they know what people like, then I think people are still going to gravitate towards them. Great example of this. Hades 2. You know, people who love Hades they think Hades 2 is even better. Right? We get Audi coming through here all the time talking about Hades in Hades 2. Hollow Knight, right? Hollow Knight Silksong versus Hollow Knight. People who loved Hollow Knight are super excited about Silksong, right? Like there's not really like there's some people who might say like Silksong is too hard compared to Hollow Knight. I would have to ask who played it in our community. Simpleton. Simpleton's I'm pretty sure is a Hollow Knight completionist type. But they like that. However, let's look at another title or franchise that was beloved, which is Little Nightmares. Like very few people are giving Little Nightmares 3 any type of love. I am going to be doing a video on it. But yeah, very few people are giving Little Nightmares 3 any love. And yeah, I think there's like a human element in there. That why some people like one thing versus don't like another. It's also getting criticism right now. Landfall. Which one's Landfall? I don't think I know Landfall. I know Redfall. Geranthus is the swan song of rasterization at the core. Rasterization. I don't know what that word means. At the core image generation of AAA games that will trickle down fast. Moore's Law is dead. Ooh. Yeah, I do think Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna underperform. I think it's gonna do well. I think it's gonna underperform though. Just because I don't know if it has the same. It's gonna test this idea of generational. Can a game that hasn't released in over 10 years, like meaning its sequence, does it still maintain its core and build out a new audience? I don't know. I don't know. I think no. I think no. Oh, Lamppost clear. Okay, 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 okay. What is that? What are they getting criticism for? I didn't catch that one, Mel. What are they getting criticism for? I didn't see that. So yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna go to my next one really quick. So we'll see. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you a case I think I'm gonna do my only trailer for the night before I get into these more meaty topics. But yeah, so here's the only trailer for tonight. And let's see if you can catch what changes in my background when I come back. All right, here we are.
In the deepest reach of this forest, a song that should have faded still echoes. A voice once shaped by love has fallen into a whisper that beckons despair. When desire entwined with the curse, her song twisted into a force that stirred the darkness. And then in the instant, her call is answered. A new fate opens its door.
PlayStation.
So that's the relic, the something guardian. I just saw the title too and I forgot. But obviously you saw the publisher there, Clipto.ai. Or no, I think that's how I clipped it. But um here's the question I have. Like the game looks very similar to like, I don't know, like 10 games since Elden Ring came out. So that's the other thing is that Like, how different is it? I don't know. Will we all be interested? Like, I need someone who really likes Elden Ring like to really pick their brain about all these different games that have come out that look similar. I mean, it looked like it had the same dodging mechanic. It looked like it's kind of the same setting. I mean, I don't know. Is it oversaturated now? Hey, Simpleton. Raster is when you change a vector map. Thank you, Roster, with the call out there. Samfo used some placeholder AI on the newspapers for certain areas of the game, and they didn't do anything about it until they were called out, and now they're being lumped in with the controversy. Oh my goodness! Like, I guess who's lumping them in? Is it like anybody, or is it just gamers, like people who are just super upset? That's really interesting because I didn't really find. I think I was like one of the biggest haters of them, and it has everything to do with the fact that they're an indie studio. But I'm like, yeah, if they're truly like indie, they're gonna like cut corners. Isn't even the right word. It's like, you know what I mean? They're just gonna like do stuff that's a little differently. I mean, they're gonna have to like they can't hire like an artist all around the corner, but maybe that's what people think they should be able to hire an artist. Elden Ring people should sue the Relic people. That's a good question. That is interesting. We're gonna talk about some people suing and settling. Anti-AI in computer simulation is the wackiest F I've ever seen. I'm convinced it's the anti-gaming lobby stirring it again. Ooh, so you think you think it's an outsider threat. Like you think it's a Manchurian threat, right? Did I use that right? I think I did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of pushback. Here's a question. There's a Do you think there's going to be like this AI counter movement or like this AI backlash? And I asked the question because it seems like I can't really find a lot of people who are super like excited about AI other than like people who are profiting off of it. But maybe that's always the case for like a new technology. I don't know. I don't know. But the way that like gamers are interacting with AI, and we've seen that people have been laid off because of AI. Do we ever see like a backlash? Gamers Online, they were upset, but they did patch in the actual art later. So that's like something, they overlooked something. I like anything recently. I was playing Silksong, but stopped enjoying it at Actus. Oh, really, Simpleton? So you didn't complete Silksong. Why did you stop it? Was it too hard or was it just dumb? You just thought it was like a ridiculous task they had you do. Yeah, same question I asked Roger. Yeah, when this job starts reducing on a bigger scale. Interesting, Zalek. Yeah. Um, I wonder if it's that jobs will be reduced or it's just going to be harder to get a job, which I guess maybe that's the same thing. Because, like, again, I look at AI and I'm not too sure when it comes to doing a job, like, I still need someone to look over it. You know what I mean? Um, and that's like with even like taking notes. Like, I'll have AI take notes on a call. And I'm still like, oh, you didn't capture. I don't remember the call being like that. And then sure enough, I'll look at the transcript and something that's like super important to the call that we all agreed on, the AI may under prioritize that versus like something else where we talked longer. But that's because there's like areas of disagreement. So I don't know if AI has like the best understanding. You rage quit Silksong. Zalek! You rage quit? No. There's already AI backlash and just most of the time. But yeah, but it hasn't turned into anything though. I'm talking like outright, like super like backlash. You know what I mean? Like, there's an event in the United States 13 or 12, 14 years, 15, 14 years ago called Occupy Wall Street. Like that was like really, I mean, that ultimately got cleared up, but there was like this mobilization, if you will, against Wall Street. And seeing how AI is impacting more people, I wonder if we see some mobilization like that. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And not feel like a chore. True that. True that. I hate customer service AI chatbots. Not once have they act. Have you ever noticed customer service AI chatbots have like noise in the background, like as if it's a call center? Like I never understood this. It's like, why are you mimicking as if like, why are you making it like so I can hardly hear you? As if there's like some like center. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, but usually these execs don't really care for accuracy. If they're in the green, that's all that matters. Are they in the green though? See, here's my thing. I don't think people are always like it's about the money. It's about the stock price, right? And stock price doesn't necessarily mean like that's the most profitable company. Great example, our boy Elon Musk. Like, I can pull up his numbers. Don't get me wrong, Tesla makes a lot of money. Does Tesla make money that justifies like almost a 2 trillion, 1.5, $2 trillion valuation? No. And the reason why is because there's this like, oh, but Tesla is like right around the corner from like autonomous vehicles, even though they're not. They're actually not even second place or third place. But because it's Elon and he can sell this image, okay. You know what I mean? Same thing with like SpaceX. It's like, oh, it's this travel and all these like satellites. It's like, it's not always about in the green. It's about how much hype you can generate and how much you can sell that vision. I don't know why some of these people get like a pass when they do. But I think with AI, it's a little bit harder because it's like, okay, like we have it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you're telling me Microsoft and OpenAI with their chat GPT is going to rule the world, okay, like tell me where it's going to happen. Now, I hear where Marcus is like, I'm talking about like decrypting like protein strands and like doing stuff like this. Well, okay, cool. But if you're telling me like this other thing is gonna like take over, I'm like, yeah, I talked to it, and after a while, I'm like, the AI is just telling me what I want to hear. And so I'm also like, now it's like I'm actually paying people to like check things that I probably wouldn't have paid for before. But now I'm like, oh, I think AI is like sugarcoating stuff more so than not. People can't even leave Twitter. An AI backlash is burning down servers, but there are 3 locations protected. When you attack AI, you're attacking food supply and water treatment already. Ooh, let's see what else the market says. That's 1 out of 2. Rage quit just means stopping the game and not returning. It doesn't necessarily mean you're getting very mad. Yeah, but I would imagine that she would come back, no? Yeah, I feel like I'm doing things in Silksong just to do them, and not because I'm actually having fun. I stopped caring about the story. Oh no, okay, that I had not heard. I had heard that there's areas in the game where it like starts you over. Like like the checkpoint is just so far. So that's what I had heard. The fix is in. Ooh. Um, Not because I'm actually having fun. Blah, blah, blah. Are you with that? I worked on Broadway near Wall Street when Occupy was there. I walked through that park every day. What was it like? Oh, are you saying will they backlash actually affect anything? Yeah, no, laugh at not really. Okay, so you don't think it will. Okay. So you're saying There will be nothing that comes of it. What about the NVIDIA news? Less PC GPUs for more AI focus. Ooh, Zalik. Sounds like you have feelings. If when you say NVIDIA news, do you mean that one? Your roommate. I actually have a couple of them for this one. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this one. So yeah, I think the way I looked at this, so initially I put this one, let me get back to this. So initially I put this story there because it really made a lot more sense when I think about, oh my goodness, do I not have it? I'm sorry. It's like I'm not on my bigger computer. So I did this story, right? Video game physical software and hardware sales just at the worst November in the United States since 1995. So if you like, actually, a lot of people who are in the PC master race conversation would take this news and say, like, look, purple, this is the reason consoles are dying. And I'm like, okay, maybe. But then you look at this news, right? And this news actually has a couple of different things. One is NVIDIA is cutting their GPU, like their consumer GPU supply by 40% to focus on a higher profit margin business, which is their AI server chip business. Okay. The immediate impact on this is that they're cutting the supply of their GPUs. When you cut supply, that means demand is going to artificially be raised. Maybe not artificially, but it gets raised. When demand goes up, so do prices go up. So the idea that consoles are dying because you can go build a PC, I actually think the only thing that's true, the only type of gamer, in my opinion, that is dying is the budget PC gamer. I think budget PC gaming is kind of, I'm not even sure how you do it now, right? You would have to get an older GPU, right? Which isn't a current GPU. So you got to get an older GPU that you then potentially, you have to like kind of build your budget PC out of not very old parts, but fairly dated new parts if you were recently to get into budget PC gaming. And yeah, I think PC gaming is about to get super, super, super expensive, relatively speaking. Hey, Carlos Garcia, how are you? And what they wanted. Ooh, okay. Interesting. $6 billion man. I know he's worth a lot. But my thing with Elon, I think Elon, like, that dude has to live in fear. Like, I think the vast majority of people, like, not maybe the vast majority, the majority of people who know Elon Musk probably do not have a good feeling about him. Like, I think when you're that rich, relatively speaking, you have a giant target on your back. You know what I mean? Like if Luigi Manzioni got celebrated as a hero for killing some no-name CEO, imagine like the crazy, insane person who targets Elon Musk and actually is successful. You know what I mean? Like that person will go down like infamy. And Silk Sandwich actually wasn't a hard as the Hollow Knight is really not hard. It's just a lot of it just keeps going. I got it, Simpleton. Interesting. You just don't like the story. It sounds like the game just became boring to you. I get not wanting to continue if you don't feel down. Yeah, that's what I just said. Something perfect. I got Magic Arc for 20 days and it works on my Steam Deck that I got for $200, relatively budget friendly. That is, but I would say that's still budget. That's like a budget handheld, right? But you got it for use. So I think the way you did it is exactly right. Like how many people could do that use? But I think the way you did it is correct. But still, that's a relatively low number. I still think it's relatively low. It's running the biggest risk play I've ever seen. If the US doesn't hit pay dirt, either land fusion generation or super intelligence, this desolate Silicon Rust Belt of unfinished data centers decade to decays to sand? Really? Ooh, interesting. You know, like all the dystopian, like movies that came out in like the 80s and 90s, like novels as well. The dystopian wasteland was always like, we could use Mad Max, for example, right? The dystopian wasteland is like oil refineries, right? In like the middle of the desert. And so this would be actually interesting if that image updates to where the dystopian image is data centers, which would actually become like more like a horror film because data centers don't have like the same like dystopian feel as a oil refinery. But that would be kind of interesting to think to have that as like a setting is a data center, like the inside of a data center as the setting of this dystopian place. I'm gonna have to like ponder that a little bit more. Um, so yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Skynet. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I still don't think AI is even I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of Skynet, supposedly the Terminator game, this like the arcade style Terminator game that just recently launched. Supposedly, if you like Terminator, it's like a true remaking of the game. Like the people who are been, I've talked to like 3 people who've played that, and they all love it. They say like the gameplay mechanics vary depending on the part of the game. If you have what I'm talking, no idea what I'm talking about, like there's a 2.5D Terminator game that just launched. It's Terminator 2, so it's like basically the same story as Terminator 2, and you get to play as like different like you're John Connor at parts, Sarah Connor at parts. Uh who else? You're like the T1000 at parts. Those are the only things I saw, like those specific things. But it also has some of the same soundtrack from the game from the movie. Like I actually might just play the game um to like relive the movie. But they said it has like a lot of detail from the movie. So it's something to keep think of. But China doesn't need 18 they have 3x the power online to brute force their way to the future. Ooh, Internet of Games. Interesting, interesting. But okay, getting back to the actual topic. So yeah. So Nvidia, you're also there's articles about this about Intel. Um GPUs are about to get very expensive. And the reason why is that they're just going to be cutting supply. And so what you're going to see is what I've talked about probably 8 months ago, which is this idea that the economy, this is the world global economy, and it's always been this way. So you all who always want to talk about the proletariat and Marxist ideology, you got your chance right now. But like ever since like really the Great Recession, the banking crisis of 2007 through 2009, and exacerbated by the pandemic, the economies around the world have had this like K-shaped economy, right? Let's do it. Is it like this or let's do it like this? K-shaped economy. Where this side of the economy is like the people who have like wealth, their wealth continues to go up, like, right? Because they're invested in assets like stocks and real estate and like their own businesses. They continue to make money. The other side continues to lose money, right? So it looks like if you think about a K, you have one side going up, one side going down. I think with NVIDIA doing this, guess what? If they cut their GPU inventory, well, they can still service that K group that is increasing their wealth, that part of the leg. But the part downwards, so the people like Neos who are like, stop buying things, right? And we heard this during the Switch 2 launch. People said, hey, stop buying it. Well, you not buying it actually plays perfectly into their hand because now they're like, well, we didn't make anything for you in the first place. So yeah, I think that is you're seeing that really interesting supply and demand economics play out in real time. And it's going to be really interesting because I think a lot of gamers have been kind of like right on that cusp. And now gaming is starting to really, really start to get more expensive. Um, the Pentagon, yeah, I read that too, but the Pentagon's always used it. They don't. Hey, Louis, I was just mentioning you. Uh, but Louis, I was going to talk about this. I was going to talk about this. Like, as I said before, and I mentioned this before, I actually don't think this signals what you were talking about today. Louis, I was in your channel earlier today for a little bit. In my opinion, there's a lot of things that are going on right here. And if anything, what I feel like is happening is discretionary spending across the board is decreasing. So not just like PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, but everything. Like if we were to look at November, restaurant sales were down, movie sales were down, trips to the hair salon or the nail salon were down. Anything considered discretionary spending was down. And so I'm not necessarily sure this is a video game, a video game console. I don't know situation as much as an economic situation. So more December and January are going to be very, very interesting in this regard. Have you ever watched Travelers TV show? Interesting AI used in that show. Travelers, which one is Travelers? Is that the one where they come back from the future and they come down to like they come from the future and then they come into our present day? Is that Travelers? And it's kind of like in the future, they're all kind of like, it's a really desolate place. Let me know if that's Travelers, because that may not be Travelers. I might be talking about a totally different TV show. UK drones learn targets before leaving for their mission and then hunt and destroy with an MPU silently doing image recognition. Drones have become very interesting. Like the United States military is really catching up on this. Like it's really interesting. It's really I keep saying really interesting, but United States military doctrine is really changing based upon the war in Ukraine and how much like drones can actually damage war between Russia and Ukraine. I personally think like if you look at China, like they have like simultaneous like they have constantly been the AI drone powerhouse. Like if we just look at what they did with some of their like Chinese New Year celebrations, and I don't mean like recently, I mean like in the past, like last decade to 2 decades. So when people talk to me about drone wars, I'm always like, oh man, China is so far ahead of where anybody else is in that regard. And it's really interesting because China actually created gunpowder. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until the West saw gunpowder that then they start using it as a weapon. But now, like especially with like aerial drones, it's like they've been utilizing that for a while. But unlike what happened 1,000 years ago, where it was like the West was able to like take gunpowder and really make it the weapon du jour for the last like centuries and so forth. I think China's like more keen to continue to dominate in that area. That's like my military brain coming out. Um just the Nintendo stuff. Pros said 5-year-old tech, it's supposed to go down, but it keeps going up. What is the yeah, but I get what you're saying. I don't know. Where do people get this idea that tech goes down? I don't know if that's I think that's sometimes true, but not necessarily true, right? Like inflation still goes up. You know what I mean? Inflation still goes up. And the difference between a 400, what they would have said, the data I've seen has said like a Switch today would cost $409. And a Switch 2 costs $450. So that's like an 8% profit rise, right? Or 8%. I'm not necessarily certain that's like the jump people want to make it out to be. All right. Take care, Rosser. See you. The increases affected sales big time on all of them. True, but I think what it also impacted sales more than that was there was a giant furlough in the United States. And to me, any data we get in November about sales, if people are not taking into account that the government shut down for a whole entire month and do not think that has any type of impact on the economy, are kidding themselves. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of federal workers were furloughed. On top of that, many people who use some form of government subsidy or any type of government payment was on edge and not spending money. So if the shutdown started October 1st and ended November 12th or 13th, I forget what day, and people are not accounting for that and are trying to draw some comparison, direct comparison to price, I think they're missing it, right? Because if that was the case, we would see other discretionary spending stay the same. But actuality is we saw discretionary spending drop for fast foods. Those didn't go up in price drastically. We would have seen the same thing dropping in movie theater purchases and tickets, or the same, but we didn't. We saw all of these categories drop. So what that would signal to me isn't necessarily this thing about gaming pricing. I think, yes, that is part of it. I think the bigger thing is that there was a massive disruption to the United States economy, because that's what this data is for, right? In the US, there was this massive disruption in the US economy that was not seen in other places. More so, on top of that, if we look at actually where other console sales are around the world, they have still been selling. They have just now started to restock when it comes to gaming console hardware. So that would signal what is happening in the United States that's not happening somewhere else. And then when we look at the inflation impact of pricing on gaming consoles, we actually see in other places, gaming consoles have went up more so in the United States. However, they've actually, relatively speaking, sales have remained flat or increased. Okay, I said a lot there to say, prove me wrong, Crazy Louie. People from the future change the past to save the world. They follow an AI's plan to save them. Okay, yes, that's the one. Is it the one where the girl loses her memory? That's the one. Then it's the one. I've seen it, yes. But I haven't finished it. Is it like with the FBI agent and stuff? Playa, what up, though? Hey, geek, send me a link. I'll explain really quick. Let me gear up. Okay. Send me a link. I'm going to post a link for Crazy Louie to defend this, y'all. This is about to get heated. Crazy Louie is going to come in. Y'all, you're going to have to pin that message because I don't think I can pin it. Maybe. Does that pin it? Does that star pin it, what I just did? No. Yeah, we're going to pin it. No, it doesn't pin it. It doesn't pin it.
Oh.
Louie, let's go.
What's up, Purple? How are you? It's been a while, huh? How you been?
It has, Crazy Louie.
How you been? Everything good?
And is that camera moving so creepy?
I love it. Hold on, let me zoom out because I'm already zoomed out. Oh, this is big though. Oh, wait. Hey, go back. Okay, that's good though. So here's the thing though, Purple, about the situation here. Usually, as years goes by, right? As the year goes by, we have the launch price, right? Right? The launch price is always like, let's say 400, 500, as usual, right? But then, along the way, like, for example, the PS5 comes out with the Slim, the Xbox comes out with another model, and yada, yada, yada. It's usually a lower price console. Not like how it was when it initially came out. I mean, it's always happened every single gen. Every single gen that went by, they usually have like another model that's a little bit more cheaper, or at least $100 more cheaper than the original model that came out. That's why. So right now, instead of decreasing, all they've done is increase. They went nuts increasing these consoles. That's what they've done. And now, the situation with the RAM that's going on, oh, Lord. It's just going to keep on increasing even more. I don't know where we're gonna go. Like the other day, I even talked about it. I said I don't know what's gonna happen next year or the year after next because I mean, I don't know. Because now, for example, the whole argument of people saying, "Oh, go get a PC," I'm like, now how can you get a PC? It's gonna be really expensive now. RAM is like $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the hell you can build a PC from that. You're gonna have to chill out for a while, wait for the time to go by before this AI thing, starts to cool down a bit. I don't know what's it going to cool down, but again, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future though. But the only thing we have for sure is there's gonna be probably some more increases. So I'm gonna see that PS5 is gonna increase the price. I'm probably gonna see the Xbox gonna increase the price, probably so. I mean, probably, but that's what it aims for though.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. We just approach it from different directions, right? Like I think for me, people are going to be more apt to move back down to consoles because it is a cheaper option than what you said for someone who's trying to get into trying to build like traditionally the paths to get into PC gaming are becoming more and more expensive, like kind of prohibitively more expensive. And so when I see Xbox, I think Xbox is doing the same thing that Nvidia is doing, right? And they're not really building more Series X and S Xbox. Like they're not mass producing that. Meaning they're just consolidating, right? Like I think they're gradually consolidating how many consoles they produce.
No, they sat there because the thing was, remember what happened with the whole tariff situation in China, right? You know what they had the tariff war, right? And so I saw an article the other day that they have moved to Vietnam the productions of the Xbox. They moved it to Vietnam. Now they're building them in Vietnam. So it's gonna help them out at least for a bit. So they were not probably producing during the time because they were trying to move factory. Like, okay, where are we gonna go? Where should we produce this machine? To have it at a cheaper price to send it over here. So that's why they moved to Vietnam and now they're producing them because of course we also have next year GTA 6, which is going to move probably consoles. By how much I don't know because the thing is this game comes out literally like probably months to a year to when the next gen console is going to be announced because I think they're going to be announced by the end of 2027. I think we're going to get the next console. So let's see what happens though. It's gonna, like you said, 2026 is gonna be an interesting year. We're gonna see what goes on. But yeah, they're producing consoles now because of course they have GTA 6. I mean, they have I don't know how many users still.
But do you think they're producing that? Do you think they're so my argument isn't that they're not producing consoles, right? Like Nintendo moved their production to Vietnam for the Switch 2, right? And
Nintendo did too?
They've been did that. That was a whole thing.
Yeah. Xbox
and
did
your
that
channel
too.
got no, but Nintendo started Switch 2 in Vietnam.
Oh, cool.
And,
That's awesome.
And your chat came after me. But you already know they're a fan. A lot of them are fans.
They came after you. What do you mean they came after you? No.
It was back during Switch 2 before the launch.
Oh, okay.
And the price. But but no, I think do you think Xbox is going to produce a ton of Series X's and S's in Vietnam?
For next year, they said they're going to produce like 4.6 million throughout the year, which is not that much though. I mean, 4.6 million is not a bad number, but yeah, I mean, it should be more. But along the way though, I mean, if they see that it keeps on selling, because like I said, we're so close to next gen. I think that I don't know why I had this feeling that the 25th anniversary, I think that next year is going to be the time they're going to announce the new console and they're going to release it by the end of 2027. Because, there's a lot of talks behind that console these days. They're talking about it. They keep on adding more stuff to it. They keep on saying, okay, we're fixing this over here in Windows. We're doing this over there in Windows. They're trying to make it better for when that box comes out. It's already all set and they're really working hard on it. So I believe by probably one of the showcases, Xbox One's probably the summer showcase or I don't know, Tokyo Game Show. I don't know, whichever one of the showcases they do, they're going to announce that console right there. So people can know that they're ready for next gen. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking though. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I see and project is going to happen, to be honest.
I love how you're optimistic about them, Louis.
Hmm?
I love how you're optimistic about them.
No, I'm saying probably because you know what I mean.
No,
Probably.
no, that's good. That's good. Most people would actually disagree, right? But I think I think the interesting thing about the next generation is going to be how many people actually go for a next generation versus the past generation. And what I mean by that is we see this in phones, right? Like you see Apple will launch whatever, iPhone 17, and then some people still hold on to iPhone 16 or 15 or 14, and they're like, there's no reason to upgrade now.
Yeah.
And so do we see this same trend happening in gaming consoles, right? Where it's like, especially if the biggest, and Mel just made a video, I'm not sure if he's still in chat, but he's like, 5 years later, he did Xbox and he did PlayStation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you're hearing gaming studios say, like, hey, we're not pushing graphics all the way anymore. You're seeing like a lot of the biggest games kind of like take a step back. So what is the benefit of getting a brand new console if the console is going to do something similar? Then maybe not the Series S, but like something similar to like the Series X or a PS5 Pro, if you're looking at that.
Graphically, I don't know. I always ask myself that question a lot. Like with graphics, I keep on saying, like, what's the next step for graphics, though? I mean, what are we going to see in graphics? Like more photorealism, probably stuff like that. But I think graphics are top notch now. I mean, what's next? What I always say is they got something that I saw in an interview with Todd Howard that he really, really wants it to happen is to have like more. How can I say this? Like he mentioned, like he wants to be like the AI in the game be more interactive, right? To have more gestures, to have more stuff. Like for example, if you're playing a Call of Duty game, you use the same strategy all the time. Like the AI takes notice of that and makes it more challenging for you. Stuff like that. Things that need to change in gaming. That's one of the biggest things that need to change, though. So I think that's what he mentioned by that, because when I sat there, I remember that interview we talked about. That was part of the very first episode of XBI that we did here, and he did talk we talked about Todd Howard that interview, like how he would like to see what to come new into video games, because again, graphics, we're at top notch. I think we're in the top part of graphics at now. I mean, there's not going to be anything else to see on graphics. Probably more eyelashes, more stuff like that. I mean. Our games already look so good, it's crazy, but yeah, I like to see more like AI stuff happening, and that's the thing though that might get people to jump into a console. But here's another thing though. I mean, the bigger question is going to be is what is going to be the price of these next generation boxes, because now we have boxes that cost $700, and remember. Back in the day when the 360 and the PS3 came out, we had a box that cost $600, and everybody's like, "No, we get this box; it's too expensive, right? It's a game." And nowadays, it's like people don't care; just go for it and buy. I don't know.
But to be fair, like if we go back to the PS3, Xbox One generation, right? $600 if we 360, yeah. Yeah. 360. If we go back to that time, and I always say it's all relative in context. If I asked you what was the most expensive phone during that time, what would you say?
What was the question?
Phone, like your phone. How much did you spend on a phone back then?
Wow. I used to have a Motorola StarTAC back in the day. I mean, StarTAC. Was it StarTAC? Motorola StarTAC, the one that flip phone. Motorola. There was also the V3, I think it was. Yeah, well, I mean, what would I say back then? I don't know, because I'm saying like what happened to it, like it was like how people saw the console and they were like, no, it's too expensive. I'm like, huh?
Well, yeah, true, like that. But I think back then we would have said, yeah, this personal computing device or this personal gaming thing would have been too expensive. But if you say like $600, like because if we're saying back then,
yeah,
14, this is 17. By the time this next generation console comes out in 2027, we're now talking like 17 years, right? We're talking a significant amount of time since the last time we saw a $600, $700 console. But in that same amount of time, like this phone, right? My phone, this phone's MSRP
Mhm.
1,800.
1,800. Holy shit!
That's an 1,800. Like, no, that's a flip,
I
right?
mean, iPhones are 1,200 now.
Yeah,
1,000.
exactly,
Remember when it came
exactly.
out, $400?
So,
I'm
so,
like,
so that's where I say, like, if it's relatively speaking,
yeah,
that like if we're spinning that on, like, now don't get me wrong, this can do way more than the phone back then could do, but I would
yeah.
argue that the Xbox Series X or
That's
PlayStation can do way more than the PS3 and or the Xbox 360.
like when you talk about like back then, like if I was back then, I mean, for the price it was $600, right? You're saying, yeah, compared to now. I mean, of course, things have changed because tech is getting like
Yeah.
we're getting new tech into these systems. It's different now. These systems are pretty much PCs, and it's the truth though because I mean, we play the game. If you play a game on PlayStation, you play the same game on PC. It's pretty much the same game. It's just more details into the game, right? On PC, but that's the thing, though. I mean, it's a weird gen. I mean, like I keep on saying that. I sit there and I think like how weird this gen is because for the first time in a generation, we see instead of consoles decreasing, we see them increase. We see old tech increasing because let's say okay, the Series X came out with like how can I say this? Like with a new chip in it or something. Because I'm not the biggest techie guy though. But I said it comes up with a new chip in it. It does even more. Let's just say the Series X Pro, right? And my train of thought just left though. Where was that? Pull me back.
You're saying it's just fair. Prices have increased.
Yeah, prices have increased. Yeah, because the new tech that's coming out is just gonna be. I don't even know like where is this going to go? Like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen next year. I don't know what's gonna be the price of the next console. But like I said though, remember when the Xbox Ally came out? They were like, okay, let's check the prices. Supposedly people saying it's going to be 900, 800. Now this thing comes from 1,000 and it's sold out. I'm like, but why were people complaining about a PS5 Pro?
I think anytime. So I would say it's not a gaming issue though.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I ultimately land on this conversation when it comes to consoles or so forth. To me, that there is more of a disruption in the economy. And what I mean by that is that, like, let's go back a few years ago and you had used car prices selling more than the new car price. Now that makes no sense, right? We always used to hear the thing, like as soon as you buy a new car, as soon as you buy a new car, you roll off the lot and it loses value. But we had a situation where you had used cars selling more than the new car. You've had a situation where you see the same deal where you traditionally have seen like sneakers. You see this in certain segments, right?
But consoles did that too, though. For example, because during COVID, though, when the COVID hit, I remember I had a PS4 Pro, and I had a friend that worked in the store, that video game store, and he called me. He's like, "Lou, are you gonna switch to the PS5?" I'm like, "I'm thinking about it. Why? Come over here. Let me sell your PS4 Pro. I mean, you have a great opportunity." I was like, "Why? Why would I have a great opportunity?" Because we have we receive really small PS5s in here. Like we're not receiving much. So people are after this console. And you know how much I sold it? I sold it for the same price I bought it. No joke. And cars were having that problem too, because the reason why that happened was because we did not. When you ordered a car, you had to wait like a year to get the new car. So that's why used cars increased, though. That's what happened. And it's weird though, because now that situation was a chaos back then, because we just couldn't get our cars because of the COVID situation, right? We couldn't get new cars or nothing. Same thing with consoles. We're gonna get a new console because remember when every time a console came out, you had the scalpers buying them and selling it to you for $1,000, $1,000, $2,000. It was insane. It was insane. And now we have consoles there, and it just keeps on going up, keeps on going up, keeps on going up.
But I think they're trying to, because I think what they're trying to do is they're shifting the price of the console back onto the consumer. And what I mean by that is that historically consoles have been sold at a loss, right? When they first come out.
Depends on the box though, because like for example, PS5 they started selling a loss, And like a year later, I think it was, they finally found a way to make money on it. Yeah, they found a solution.
But still, that's still in a no tariff situation. That's still in
that was still no tariff.
So I feel like what they're doing is they're saying, like, we have gamers, like a budget gamer is not going to spend a ton of money on software, regardless. Right? They if you're always it's like someone who cuts taxes. I don't care how rich they get, they never pay tax. And it's the same deal with like a budget gamer. Someone who hardly like spends money on hardware is not all of a sudden going to start spending money on software.
No.
Right. So what they're saying is like, the person who wants this box is going to pay for this box at 500 or 600 because they don't care.
They don't care. Exactly.
And so what they're saying is they're getting rid of the budget gamer. They're saying this person is hurting our profit margin up and down.
Let's get them out.
Right. And so like, I don't care if this is a scalper. I don't care if this is a used console. This person is a lag on us because they buy the older console. We then have to support the older console, which is now meaning we have to spend more money. So what they're saying is like, no, we're going to like annihilate this person because they don't really add to our profit margin.
And that's incredible because you know what's so amazing about this is how they are so afraid. And I see this, like, for example, we're 5 years in and they are so afraid like to cut out the last gen console. They're so afraid to do it. They're I don't know why they haven't done it yet. I think GTA, like for example, GTA 6 they're not gonna go out for the old console though. Or I don't know if they're making it because we have a year left. I don't know if they're making the GTA 6 for the old console. We don't know what's going on in Rockstar. But yeah, like Call of Duty this year, we were thinking like, okay, it's just gonna be for Xbox, PS5, and all that stuff, but it's a PS4, it's an Xbox One.
Yeah, it costs money, and that's what I'm saying. What? Like those. So I think what they're doing is they're shifting it back because that's costing them money. Yeah. And so I think what they're essentially saying is that we are tired of
waiting for you.
Waiting, which is a form of subsidizing.
It could be by
giving them an incentive because now they're taking the incentive away of buying older consoles at a discount.
It could be that though, because I know one thing though, they keep on making newer PS5 models, for example. They keep on like making it with lighter material, the PS5 model. So with lighter material and stuff like that, it should be a little bit, kind of decreasing the price though. Because look at Japan though. In Japan, they put that console at $350. I was like, wait, why? How come this console is $350? I mean, it should be at least around here in the world, it should be at least lower the price over here. The consumer would be happy, but
why would they?
They should. I mean, they're making profit because they're making more profit over there in Japan with that price down there, and they're making profit. I bet you.
But that's the same thing with cars. That's the same thing with cars. A Japanese car costs more in Japan than it does over here. Like I think.
I mean, I'm happy with Japan though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's because. But I think what they're doing is they're saying that, again, I think what they're saying is like, hey, if we have gamers over here who can afford, it's what is their willingness to pay? And I think as the gaming community was expanding in player base, especially in the console world, they were all competing on trying to gather the gamers. But now there's no new console gamers. Right?
No, there isn't. I mean, that's not growing.
There's going to be some coming, but there's also some leaving.
That's why they're shipping games everywhere. Because I remember I had this conversation in XBI. Right, I told the guys, the morning show. I told everyone why these companies have decided not to start shipping elsewhere. Because people say PC is not a competitor to PlayStation. Of course it is. It's a device where you play games. Any device you play games is a competitor to the device you game on, no matter what, because you're playing games on it. It could be a cell phone, it could be TV. It's a device you're playing games. Now, when it comes down to general, like console, right? Like, it's console versus PC is a different thing. I understand that part. But if you have a video game device and you play games on it, doesn't matter if it's cell phone, tablet, whatever. If you play games, it competes. I mean, look at that. What's it called? That new thing, Next Playground, whatever thing it is. Got these. It's got these little idiot. I looked at the site and I was like, oh, it's got these little kid games though. And I was like, you know how I am because I've seen tech, right? I love tech stuff. Like, remember I always told you, man, I wish the Stadia was around. I wanted to try the Stadia. I couldn't try it. But this thing, I was like, oh, this is interesting though. And I was like, man, I hope it really clicks. I hope people really buy it so they can, by the time, I have kids, they come around. This will be a fun thing, to play with, have fun, doing dances and everything, because it's kind of like a Connect, right? And it looks fun. It looks fun. It has like kiddie games. And it looks like it's really fun, simple stuff, to get your kids, dance, jump around. It's pretty cool. And like I say though, this little box costs $200. I was like, whoa. I mean, and people are like, "Bro, this beat the Xbox." Blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, duh, it's got to beat it." I mean, for $200 right now, give me a device, to have kids jumping on it. It's amazing. That's actually a good price for a box, But the thing is, that subscription is $86 a year. But who cares? It's gonna have games for the kids to play, to have fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it. But the thing is, though, what really amazes me each day, I go on here and I look for information, to try to be as spot on as I can be, because we're here, we're saying our opinions. We could be incorrect sometimes with our opinions, right? We can be incorrect about something. We can throw things out there and be incorrect. We'll do this all the time, right? It's normal because it's an opinion. But what amazes me is how PC gaming keeps on growing. That's incredible. And when I said those, like, oh, these guys have decided to put their games elsewhere, it's because, okay, you have PlayStation fans, right? Let's take an example. Ghost of Yotei came out. It only sold 3 million copies. All right. When it came out. That's the $70. That's the $70 gang. That's the gang that goes out there and say, I'm gonna buy this game day one. Then comes the gang that waits for a discount. They go in, they buy it on a discount. Then comes the gang that that if it comes to PS Plus, they'll get it for PS Plus, blah, 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 all this stuff. And when they ship it a PC, though, right, all of a sudden they sell 2 or 3 million more copies. Because here's the thing, though. Maybe those guys who played Tsushima back in the day on PlayStation 4 that have moved to PC, they have Yotei over here. Now it comes over here. Let me go ahead and buy it right here on my PC. I'll just wait for it to land on PC, buy it right there, and just play it. Because that's the thing, though, and that's happening. I mean, a lot of players have left.
Overstating. Yeah, but I think it's overstating. I did a video on this year. I think this is overstating the pool of PC and the gamer on PC. Yeah. Right. I think that there is an overlap gamer. We have Geek the Sneak. He was in chat earlier. He buys everything on everything, right? But I think that is a minority of PC gamers. I think the majority of PC gamers are gamers who shooters, right? You have that entire crowd. If you look at the segmentation of PC gamers,
let me look for something. Keep going.
If you look at the segmentation of PC gamers, right? Yes, they are a larger player pool. The vast majority of them are playing free-to-play games, right? They're playing casual games. But if we now let's dwindle it down to like the people who have a dedicated PC gaming computer. I think there is a segment of the population that will say like, yeah, I have this. I used to play on PlayStation, but I'm going to play on this and I'm going to buy it here. I totally get that. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. However, I still feel like the numbers still show that 85 to 90% of a franchise that is a PlayStation franchise, if we're talking PlayStation DirectX, right? 85 to 90% of those sales still happen on the PlayStation console. The exception was Spider-Man.
Well, here's what I like. If you take a look at Circana's list, I don't know if you've ever been to Matt Piscatella Circana Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, I've talked to Matt.
Yeah. Matt's always like pretty much on the top of this stuff. Like for example, like every time like I go to PC, it always varies. Like Steam top 15 ranked by total globally active players. Same thing with Canada. Same thing with Mexico. Right? It varies. Like in Mexico, I still don't know how Left 4 Dead is like. I'm like, how is Left 4 Dead 2 still a popular game? It's amazing. I don't know how. But for example, people now are playing Elden Ring. They're playing like single player games on there. The shooters on Steam usually are like always is Counter-Strike 2 because hell, it's Counter-Strike. It's hard. It's hard to defeat Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike has been here for like 20 years already, and it's hard to defeat it. But like always, like when there's a single player game or something like that comes up and, it's everywhere, you see like it goes up on the top 15 list in the PC store and it stays there for like a while. But when you go to like Xbox and PlayStation, it's always the same thing. Like the top 5 games, literally always the same thing. You have Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Roblox, NBA 2K26, Battlefield 6. It just keeps on. I'm like, change it. You know.
But that's the thing. But that's,
Ooh.
I think, but the conversation that it is that's having is not about Madden. It's not about 2K, right? Those are games that are like, what we're talking about is a single player game. And the conversation is like because you use Ghost of Yoti. And you said Ghost of Yoti sold 3 million on PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation.
But the number is nowhere close to 3 million on PC.
Oh,
I think.
I just said as an example though, because
But that's across the board though.
I mean,
that's my thing.
It's just an example because I mean, if you remember God of War when it got released on PC, the first God of War in 2018 when it got released on PC, that thing racked up like 4 million on the dollars.
No, it didn't, Louis. No, it didn't.
It did. Right? It was so
no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Let me go look for it. Let me see if I.
Yes, let's go. Because when you go look at the numbers, like relatively speaking, what I will say is proportionally. So maybe it racked up 4 million on PC, but it racked up like 16 million on PlayStation.
Let me see. Hold on. Or is it PC within the first few months? I think I misread here though. I misread something. What was the game that sold 4 million though? I know they had like a game that did pretty well on PC. I don't know if it was God of War or not. Let me see. It didn't sell 4 million copies alone. It sold over 1 million copies on PC within its first few months. Contributed massive combined sales of 33 million. I don't know which one it was, but I know they had like a game that they put on PC that is so crazy amounts. I don't remember which one it was.
I think you're going to be looking for a while because I've seen the numbers, Louis.
You see the numbers up?
I don't make these things
maybe it was a rumor or misinformation because you know how it is.
The best. I'm telling you, the best option you have to say for a game that was on PlayStation that went to PC and sold a significant number.
It was Helldivers, I know.
No, well, that's a multiplayer. We're talking single player. I don't want to get a multiplayer.
Okay, what's it?
Okay, the best one you have. The best example is the first Spider-Man.
Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah.
But the first Spider-Man is a universal IP that is larger than just like PlayStation, right? Like that has an appeal that even if you didn't know it was a PlayStation exclusive or whatever, people would still go buy it. But ever since then, what you see is like God of War, Spider-Man 2 did not do that. Miles Morales didn't do it. It was the first Spider-Man. And so, but when you look at all the other ones I just listed, Ghost of Tsushima, the God of Wars, all of them, the vast majority of sales still happen on PlayStation. So that's why I say I think the idea that half of their players are on PC or a fourth of their players.
No. Never said that half of the players on PC. No, I'm just saying the people that have left the console on PlayStation used to play on PlayStation. I play those games, on PC. No. I never said it's half because I know where the half of PlayStation is. I know where it is, and that is in PS4. Literally, like half of it is in PS4. There's like still like 49 or 40 million users on there yet that have not left the PS4, which is also that's what I'm saying though. It's weird how they have not made the jump. It's incredible. It's like that's the thing that I scratch my head on because we talk a lot about these important exclusives. We talk about these games. We talk about all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, every single month, you look at everything from Circana to all that, because that's basically the information we pick, right? And you see it's always the same thing. They play not only on PlayStation, also on Xbox. I'm like, so you guys buy this console just to play these 5 games. Well, like I always say, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, and sports games. That's it. That's always like in the top 10.
But it's a network. Yeah, but I think it's the network effect.
Yeah,
it's the network effect.
It's incredible.
Right? It's just the same thing.
If you play one game. I don't get it. I remember I talked like now because that's another thing for us. We have an issue with time. It's insane. And I don't. Do you remember when Adela came out and talked about TikTok? Everyone was like, I don't understand why TikTok is a competitor and all this stuff. I understood what he meant though. I said it's because it's time consuming. And what what he wants you is instead of being on TikTok, he wants you to be on Xbox gaming. I got what he said though, because basically, Netflix has the same problem because they say that my worst enemy, Netflix's worst competitor is sleep. They know that for a fact. If you're not on Netflix while you're sleeping, they're losing money. They said that. But
Yeah.
I understood that though. I understood that area, right? But I'm just amazed that okay, these new games come out, we go out there with cheerful. Yeah, this game is out, but yet we don't see it bump out these other games. You just don't. It's hard to see a game that bumps them out. Hard to see.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So I think Days Gone, but Paul, my argument is still the relatively speaking, is may have sold 4 million, but when you look at the total sales, it's still roughly representing 10 to 15% of the total. That was the conversation.
Yeah, because the thing is, because here's the thing though, you got your day one guys. Always you have your day one guys. There's the day one guys who go out there and buy the game. And then all of a sudden, a couple months go by, they have the game on sale. Then you have the guys who buy it on sale. Then you have the guys who are substitutes to the PS Plus, and lands on PS Plus to download it. And then you have the guys like after a year or two, they get around to it. Like, okay, let me go ahead and buy it. And they find it like for $20 and a bigger discount price. I mean, that's how it is, because that's another thing though. We have backlogs. We don't have time for games these days. It's incredible. It's crazy out here how less time we have to play games. Like this year, Purple alone, I sat there and I was like thinking about my year round, like what games did I finish? Like what big games did I finish? And I was like, man, I didn't finish that much big games because Stalker 2 took me 2 months to finish. Indiana Jones, a month and a half or something. Assassin's Creed Shadows, another a month and a half. Doom: The Dark Ages, another month and a half. At least, I played a couple smaller games like on South of Midnight. That was a week. I finished it in a week. I was like, yay, thank you, a small game.
Yeah, it was a short game.
And my God, it's just like I said here, like the time, because back in the day, I could sit down and say, okay, I finished this game in a week because I could game 8 hours, 9 hours a day. Now all I game is 4 to 5 hours. That's the top thing I game every day. 4 to 5 hours, from 2 to 5 hours. That's how much I game. No more than that. And that's how it is. A game, yeah. For a day? A day, yeah.
Oh wow. I game 2 to 5 hours a week.
A week, there you go. See?
I don't know. But that's because I've been moving to other interests.
I know. We got work. We got all that stuff because sometimes
I've been reading. I've been going back to like
really?
I think I've been I think gaming, like there's maybe 1 or 2 games that I play, but I feel like unless it's something that truly captures me.
Yeah, it's getting that. That's happening to me too.
It's not unless I'm connecting with people or it's something, then I'm like, it's a waste of my time. That's how I am.
Wow.
And I think it's just, it just is. Like, I think stories have better, like I like stories, right? And I think gaming and I like gameplay, but unless I'm connecting with people in the community, like playing multiplayer, so that's why I do the racing games or something. But I think most of the time, I just now, I just have other things I gravitate to.
That's the thing, because it happens to me too all the time. Like for example, like I'm at the end of Clear Obscure, right? I'm at the end to finish it. I'm ready. All I gotta do is level up a bit the guys and head to the final boss and finish the game. Purple. Every time I get on that game, I start playing it, and after like 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Really? That is a good story.
No.
That's a good story.
The story is the best. I love it, but I don't know why. But it's sticking to it. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't know why. It's like I decided to take a break. I think it was like when Helldivers 2 came out. I said, okay, time to take a break from big games. Let me take a break because I've been exhausted playing all these big games back and forth. Let me take a break, and still right now I'm still in my head like, I don't know. Should I try it out?
That's interesting.
Yeah, that happened to me the other day. Something that has never happened to me in my life. It's like, okay, now it's time to take a break. I'm taking a break from big games. And I played Dave the Diver. I played Dave the Diver, which I recommend. Listen, that's the best game I don't know why. I love that game. I'm so...
No, but that's good. Like I think my thing is, you said something interesting that I totally agree with, which is like time. And Cammy and I, like a few years ago, where she's like, well, if you prioritize gaming, like you will find time. And I just was like, yeah, I don't prioritize. Like if it's not a useful use of my time, like that's why there's certain games that I'll play and I'll just stop. I'm just like, it's not worth it to me to try to push through a game. So this was my argument with, what is that game that came? Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
People or the most painful one that I got so much hate for, but fortunately it was short.
The hate.
Hellblade 2, man. I keep telling people, I'm like, dude, like if you're telling me to get into, that's a long time. Like I can watch the entire Godfather series in the amount of time it takes Hellblade 2. Which is the better experience? Which is the better experience?
Like, wait. God, is talking about Godfather or Hellblade?
Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3.
You used a bad example for it because I've seen Godfather and I'm not really that big of a Godfather fan. I'd rather have Casino though. No, I'd rather have Casino. I love Casino better.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah,
Casino's only one movie.
Oh, but it's good though. It's good. It's always on a pace though. I'm like, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, like, in order for me to stick with a game, like when you like, it's like there's too many other things.
Yeah, to play out there.
To are taking my attention.
Exactly.
So if your story isn't necessarily hitting super hard, your gameplay is just like I'm fighting with. What was another game that I was fighting recently?
Oh, I was fighting. Remember when Avowed came out? Avowed.
Avowed's one.
Yeah, Avowed is a game that I heard so much good stuff about it, but once I locked into it, like I started to play, I played like for 3 or 5 hours, and I said, "Man, this is not for me." You know. I'm being honest though, it's not for me. Now, does that mean it's bad? Kind of like I always say personally, I always say this about the game Horizon. I hate Horizon, but that's a personal take. Now, someone else likes it. I'm like, okay, cool, you might like it, but personally, I just don't like it. I tried Horizon so many times, and that's a game that I said it's $120 I badly spent on that damn crap. I hate it. That's like I just don't like it. I don't like Horizon. I just hate it. I hate it.
Watch, Zalik is in chat. Zalik likes Horizon.
Oh no! I'm not. Listen, if Zeta likes it, that's cool. I don't have any issue with that because again, that's a personal take of mine, right? I just don't like the game because
I totally get what you. I totally get what you said. I think, but that's the same thing. Like, there's certain books I can't read for a long time. There's certain TV shows that what a TV show is that just came out. That Which people one? Are like, oh, this is so good.
Which one?
And I watched 2 episodes of it, and I was like, this is stupid. This is stupid.
Don't
like,
tell me.
It's my genre. It's my genre.
Which one?
Welcome to Derry or Deary.
You do not like? You do not. No, I'm watching it right now. Wait. I'm watching it right now. And listen. There's some things I'm like with you there, like, what's going on? But what I really like though is that they let it push. I'm like, yes, push it, make it freaky. I
guess my thing is like I've become a real big stickler with TV shows. So there's that one, and then there's one that came out, Untamed on Netflix. It's another one. It's a detective one, Untamed on Netflix.
Okay.
Untamed.
Okay.
And it I've become a real big stickler that if you're acting like on a streaming service, like, and I'm paying you to watch your stuff, you better be a good story. Because then I can be like if you have a plot hole, if your acting is weak, if you're anything, like I've now become like, no, this is a waste of my time.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's happened to all of us. I mean, I've seen TV shows like, for example, Sons of Anarchy. I love Harley Davidsons. I love the bike. I love the plot of Sons of Anarchy. But like, I'm already like, I was like, I don't know how many seasons that damn show had. I don't know what episode I landed on. But all of a sudden, it's like, I'm tired. I'm done. I already know what happens.
Happened with me with
I'm done.
Stranger Things.
Oh Lord, don't get me started on Stranger Things. Kind of weird. I mean,
Stranger Things. That happened to me on
yeah.
oh, what's the one with the religious? Oh my goodness, I can't think of it. But it's the one where it's like a religious American. But that's my thing. Like now I've gotten to the point like, and it happens to get it just so happens that gaming is more of a commitment, right? And so like, if I'm like, yo, this isn't doing it for, I just am like, and it's not like I'm just going to do it immediately.
Yeah.
But there's a feeling you get where you're just like, why am I reading this? Why am I watching this?
Have you seen? There's an article on IGN that was interesting though, and
I
it's
feel
not
like Frankenstein.
I'm not gonna be like trying to bash PlayStation with this one, but it's not PlayStation alone though, with this one. There was an article on IGN that was saying, well, every PlayStation game feels like it's the same. It's a revenge plot. Is this? Is that? I'm like, why don't you change that title to the article and make it a general article about games nowadays? Games nowadays are way too long. Games nowadays have so much cinematics in them or anything. Like I keep telling my chat, indies are the shit right now. I love indie games more than anything. I'm not kidding you. I love it. Listen,
I don't know. I mean, I think good indie. I think good games are good games. Whether or not they're indie or not, because I think there's some indies that are horrible.
If you like indie games, like
if I take the Game of the Year nominees, okay, great, those are great indie games. But there's thousands of indie games that launch every year that are horrible.
Yeah. Oh, I know that are horrible. But I'm saying like the games that I'm amazed by, like for example, Dave the Diver. Oh my God. No, I'm not kidding you. Listen. Purple, Purple, you gotta play that game. It's such a funny, fun game. It's hilarious, and all you do is you fish. You go in being this fat dude that he even gets called the manatee, which I'm not gonna say which side of the story, but that was funny. So when the guy's like, "Isn't that a big ass manatee behind you?" It's like, "Oh, that's so funny." But either way, though, you fall in love with that game because look. You go in there, you fish. Then you got to take care of a sushi restaurant. You got to take care of a farm. Then you got to take care of a fish farm where you breed fish, in order to send to the sushi restaurant. There's so much into the game. You're like, wow, this game is just simple, but it's fun. And you don't get tired because you just keep on laughing and laughing and enjoy and laugh and enjoy because it brings laughter into you. It's not like this long, boring story,
as long as you have that, and I'm not saying like every game has to have that for everything, right? Like there's certain games that I don't like, right, that other people love, and there's certain games that I love that other people just like hate, right? And so but my only thing is like, as long as you like, I always say, as long as you're gaming, you're good with me. It's like, as long as you're spending your time productively, you're good with me. Because there are certain times that I don't think a game is like, if it's just not doing it for you, maybe it's reminding you of something. Maybe it's like a gameplay mechanic that you're just like, I'm tired of learning this. Like there are times where it's just like, no, it's not that time. And I would say like right now, like if we took me 2 years ago, like that's probably 2022, 2023 were probably the years I gamed the most. And then starting last year, I kind of like backed off. And then this year I really backed off. But that's just because I'm like, there wasn't like that big game that like was like, I play Mario Kart a lot. I do all the racing streams a lot. But we didn't have like a Black Myth Wukong. We didn't have the Prince of Persia. So it's like I'm not going to force it.
You're not going to force it, yeah. No, I get it. I get a lot of people with that. You're not going to force it. Noise Mofo says, what did he say about IGN? You lost me at IGN. No. Here's the thing, though. Like, I have to look for morning news every day, and I have to look for articles of what to talk about. And I bumped into that article.
Yeah, if you have not checked out Crazy Louie, he does a show every morning.
From Mondays to Saturdays, every morning I'm there, just talking about what's happening. I just send the signal and tell everybody I'm going live. That's it. It depends on my morning. Sometimes
Xbox International Podcast every Wednesday.
Oh, we used to do that. We're now on hold. We don't know when we're coming back, but yeah.
Oh, wait.
But yeah, we're on hold with that one. Yeah, we're on hold. Yeah, we haven't done it in a while though. We're on hold with that one.
Why are you on hold?
Because the guys got busy. Sour Blow's busy, with
You did
families.
have, I know you were running into that issue, y'all. Like I know Silent Cypher was busy, and then sometimes you would have Plume was busy, and
Plume
so
was
then it was
busy.
like
Everybody was busy.
Like you had Sour Blow, and then like if Sour Blow gets busy, it's just you, and then it's like a repeat of your morning show. I hear that.
That's how it is, yeah. So it's tough though. So that's why I stuck to my morning shows, which it's been getting really popular. So you have to look for news. And when I bump into that news article, I don't think I even talked about it though, but I think I did. I don't know. But at the end of the day, though, like even though if I did or not, but it's a general thing. Like look at for example, we have 2 games that came out this year that have the same damn story. I was like, damn it, I was looking forward to playing Yotei.
Which two?
I was looking forward to playing Yotei. But when I saw it's a revenge story, I was like, well, wait, I just played Shadows. I'm not going to play 50 hours of a revenge game.
Wait. Yeah, we have 2 people who just platinum both of them. Zaylin and Ambi.
Yeah, they both have revenge stories.
Are they the same story? Are they the same story, y'all?
No, it's a revenge story, pretty much. It's a revenge story.
But there's only so many. It's a samurai. How many samurai stories are a revenge story, though? How many ninja stories? Okay.
Ninja Gaiden's not a revenge story.
Ghost what's it called? What is the one I just beat on Nintendo not too long ago? Joe Musaki. Shinobi.
He's like, excuse me?
Shinobi is
a revenge story?
Yes.
But it's a 2D platformer, though. That's a lot of fun. No. But listen, I'm just saying, for me, it looked like pretty much it was the same story, though. And I said, okay, hey, I'm just going to wait for Yotei for, play it next year. Because I already went through Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I really don't want, to bump into heads. And I'm like,
That's fair. That's
what I said, though. And I was like, wait a second. That's what I mean, though. When I read the article, I said, how about we go in general? These guys are making a lot of games about revenge or doing something like that has to do with revenge or something like that.
It's a video game trope. I think most video games are revenge stories. I think most video games, I actually would think to get you into a game where you're literally killing everybody, right? What type of emotion do you have to? The only way you justify this situation, think about movies. If we have John Wick, we have Man on Fire.
Wait a minute.
We have Taken.
They killed his dog. That's a different story, though.
That's a revenge story.
No, even though it's a revenge story, but it's a different story, though. It's not like they killed his dog. Someone maybe killed my dog, man. I don't care.
All of them. Charles Bronson. anytime you have if a game is about killing bunches of people running around, there's only so many stories you can do.
Let me see. Doom is not a revenge story. Halo's not a revenge story. Let me see. The Last of Us was not a revenge story until the second one.
I'm saying there's only so many stories you can do. There's only so many stories. You have to either be in a survival mode where they're all trying to kill you because you're the chosen sacred one.
Yeah, revenge. Yeah, I remember the first Ninja Gaiden was about revenge, and the second one was about the dragon thing, and then the third one, I don't remember what the third one was about. Just remember that. How about Hitman? That's a different story too, Hitman.
Hitman, you're literally a hitman. I'm saying, there's only so many.
Yeah, but he doesn't go out for revenge.
There's only so many core concepts you can have in a story where you go out and just kill everybody and still be considered
That's why I love they did that.
But you get what I'm saying? You either have to be a professional killer soldier. That's Halo. That's Hitman. Or you have to be a revenge story where they did you wrong, so now you get to go wild on everybody. Or it's you're the chosen one, and they're all coming after you.
But what I mean is, though, for example, if Yotei didn't have the whole gang thing like it had with because it was a gang that pretty much murdered the family, blah blah blah. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the gang.
Dave the Diver?
No, I'm talking about Yotei. No, Dave the Diver. So no, you need to play Dave the Diver, bro. Get it. You need to play that game. It's so relaxing, so much fun. Go for it.
Have you ever played
Which one?
Phil Spencer. Oh my goodness. Dredge.
Dredge. Which one's Dredge though? I've heard good stuff about it.
You're in a boat. It's not like Dave the Diver. Phil Spencer actually was the one that turned me on to Dredge.
Oh yeah, Dredge is from Dave the Diver. Yeah, I did Dredge. It's from Dave the Diver. It's a DLC called Dredge. It's the same one.
No, there's a game called Dredge. There's a main game called Dredge.
Let me go look for that one. Because I just look for Dredge.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's Dredge.
Yeah, it's Dredge. Yeah, it's Dave the Diver. Yeah, Dredge is Dave the Diver. Yeah, just look for it. Yeah, I did play it. It's so listen. You gotta Lord. You gotta the purple download.
No. There's a game. There's a game called Dredge.
Which one is it though? Because I already put Dredge Fishing Adventure Game, and it's a single player sinister. Let me see which one this is about. Okay, Trader.
Maybe no. There's like just a regular Dredge, but there is a crossover between the two.
I'm watching it right now. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. This is different. Yeah, this is different. This is not Dave the Diver. Okay, I see it now. I see it. Yeah, that was the Dave the Diver story thing. Okay, because they do have a DLC. I think it's called Dredge though. And it's like you have to go night fish. You get to get fish to the hooded figures, which you get a ton of cash by doing that DLC. Like, yeah, you got to keep on doing it. Every time you see the fog, you got to call the lady, send the hooded figures, and they go in and they spend all this money.
Louis is super into Dave the Diver. If you cannot tell, Louis is really into Dave the Diver.
Oh, it's the best game I've ever played.
I'm glad you have that. I'm glad you have that. I'm glad you have that. Like I said, I as long as you find something. And just don't force it. Like, and also don't ruin it for people who find something. Like, not you, Louis. I'm just saying in general. In general, as long as people find something they enjoy, and if they know someone else enjoys something, don't crap on it. Don't crap on it.
Extra Life Reviews is known. Dredge is the game, and they did a collab with Dave the Diver. There you go. Thank you for that.
Do you know Mel? Do you know Extra Life Reviews? Do you know Mel? Louis?
No, I don't know Mel though. Who's Mel?
Mel is like my favorite game reviewer. He does these amazing game review videos. Amazing game review videos.
What do you get? What do you give Xbox game reviews? If you're like those guys that give it like a 6 or 7, we're gonna have a fight here.
No, he does a legit job. He doesn't do console wars. He does legit jobs. I think the last one I saw that he did of an Xbox was Indiana Jones, and if I'm not mistaken, he gave that a pretty good score.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much like me. Like I like to when I go ahead and review a game, I don't review it because if it's on a platform or this or that, you know, like I say about when Conquer came out, I gave it my 2 cents, and my 2 cents were always on Conquer that it should have been free to play. One, and not only that, they should have taken a little bit more time. You know, and if they would have put it free to play and give it extra love, extra time, you know, to get like the characters, you know, for people to fall in love, it would have been better. But that just died on the dot. I was like sad to see it die, but at the same time, I was like,
for Concord?
Yeah, I was like, take that.
I don't even know what Concord was.
I tried it. I remember I downloaded it because it got so much negative talk on it. I was like, you know what? I want to try it out. Because usually when people go out there and throw all this negatives, it actually pretty much turns out to be a good game. Let me try it out. When I tried it out, I gave it my 2 cents, like what the game needs, like to get for it to be better. But it wasn't that bad, though. You know, it wasn't that as bad, you know, as it was. But just people just didn't get into it because it was a $40 price range. I was like, why do you charge $40 for this game? It should be free to play. I mean, I remember the reviews are saying, well, it's better than Destiny. It's better than Call of Duty. It's better than this. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, we gotta be honest. It's not.
They learned their lesson. They shut it down.
They shut it down. Yeah. They shut it down. They closed down that studio, and that's sad because at the end of the day, they shut down that studio. Those guys were out of work.
Yeah, but that's like I think they recognize it and they learn from it, right? You know.
I hope Marathon does well though, because that one has got me a bit kind of scared. Let's see how it goes.
Boy, why are you so concerned about these games? Why are you so concerned about PlayStation games? So you don't play PlayStation.
Well, the same thing as I'm concerned from any game, because it's seriously when a game, like for example, you saw Mind's Eye, right? Mind's Eye comes out. I mean, from what you saw in the trailers, it looked great, and all of a sudden you like see like it came out crappy. I'm like, you know what? If they get shut down, they get that for releasing a crappy game. You know, when they release a really crappy game, they get it. Because you're out here putting a $70 game, making it crappy, shut it down, right? But when it comes down to, you know, when people like, for example, for Bungie, they really because with Destiny is one of the best MMOs out there, right? We got to be honest with them. At least not these days, but back in the day, it was one of the best MMOs. You got a really good studio there, and it'll be sad they release Marathon, and Marathon doesn't do well, and then Sony says, "Okay, that's it, you're shut down." I mean, I would be like, wow, you know, that would like really impact me because I'm like, man, they could have made another Destiny 3 for people to come back and play Destiny, something like that, you know. That's the thing. That's why it concerns me. And same thing with Xbox, though. It concerns me when I see a studio shut down. It concerns me, when I see all that stuff because I'm like, oh man, that studio made this game. That studio made that game. That studio did this. You know, it sucks when I see it happen to pretty much all of them. Like these days, like these big AAA games are really causing a havoc to all these companies. Insane. Because I don't know why people are not picking it up. Because back in the day, people used to pick it up. Nowadays, it's like, oh, okay. We have it there
because they have free to play. They have free to play. That's why.
Yeah, free to play. Yeah.
The thing is, if you have free to play, or you have live service, I think it's more or less you have live service. If you are like you just said something really interesting, like the people who are really into Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's their game. Like we had Nats, Rudik, you know Rudix and his co-host Nats.
Rudix.
Yeah, like
Silent destroyed me the other day. I feel bad. Yeah.
Rudix and Silent.
Yeah.
For what?
He said he clipped something and Silent just literally just chewed him on the god. I was like, oh, no.
Wait, Rudix clipped Silent Cypher?
No, he said, I'm going to clip you. And Silent said, clip me. I don't give a shit. Do what? I was like, whoa.
Oh my goodness. Silent Cypher. Oh my, let me just chat. Hey, I'm Rich Lord. Oh, Ivan's here. How's it going? Here, the majority have only really lost their jobs.
I am a rich
in their
800 gaming. Okay, nice.
I'm a rich lord.
If it's rich, then send us $1 million, only $1 million, purple, so we can invest into Netflix for the next buy.
Live service fatigue. Yeah, I hear that one as well.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's all because you get fatigued with all this stuff. The thing is, right now we're fatiguing a lot. Okay.
But is it that you're? So I have to go back to.
Okay, go for it.
No, not. I'm just saying we're saying we're fatigued. But if you listen to what we're saying, we're just like we're fatigued in gaming. Period. Right? You just said like you play. You don't have as much time. You're going back to Dave the Diver. Mm-hmm. You couldn't compete Expedition 33. I'm saying like there's certain games that like I'll read a book rather than or watch a TV show.
Yeah.
Right. So we're fatigued, right? But if we went back like 45 years ago, right, when I was a teenager, if I went back then, you know, and I said like gaming in general, would I have been fatigued then? And I probably would not have been.
No, because that was because back in the day it was new to us. Remember? All this was like, wow, this is so cool.
But the kids nowadays, I think the kids nowadays would say like they have enough games. They have Fortnite, they have Roblox, they have the free to play. They have all the games they need, so they don't need to buy the new games.
No, but here's what's funny though, Purple, right? I got a funny story. So I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago, my nephew was like, I want for Christmas a PS4, a PS5. I was like, so I sat down with it and I said, why do you want a PS5? Seriously, let's talk. Let's have this conversation. Why do you want a PS5? He's like, well, because it has games. And then I said, why don't you get an Xbox? The Xbox does not have any games. I'm like, do you remember the games you were playing on the box? Yeah. What box was that? He's like, yeah, that's a PS5. I was like, no, that's an Xbox. Oh. I'm like, yeah, see, you don't even know what an Xbox or a PS5 is. You don't know what that is. And so we went out, we got him a PS5, right? Purple. I sat down with him a year later and I asked him, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Where do you like to play games? Here on the tablet. I'm like, huh? I was like, okay.
They do play on tablets. I can't do on tablet. I cannot do tablets.
And then I was like, but you got a PS5, why don't you give me a PS5? Well, my PS5 doesn't have that much games like I do on the tablet. I'm like, so what are the games you play on the tablet? Roblox. Only we can play Roblox on PS5. No, but I like it on the tablet. Then why did you get a PS5 though? And these days, he's like on his Christmas list for Santa Claus. It's like, well, I want a VR now. So I sat down with him and I said, why do you want a VR now? I mean, are you gonna? Because of course, you know me as a troll. I go and I say, "What are you gonna do? Are you gonna watch? ladies in bikinis in the VR?" It's like, "Yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Okay, no, I'm just asking, just asking." But why would you want a VR to play games? But what are you gonna play? Roblox. I'm like, game on the tablet though. I don't seriously. I just want to get it because Oh my god. But basically, that's all they do. They play Roblox or they play FIFA, or that's it. Purple. That's all they play.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like the people who have the time to play we did not have. I don't know if I would have played FIFA back then. Thank you so much, Ivan Richler, for being 9 months.
Wow,
we
that's awesome.
we didn't have FIFA, right? We had, back in we just didn't have that. We had like new games. There was no live service. There was no season passes. There was none of that.
Nope,
right?
Nothing. Nope.
So
Only
now
multiplayer.
now that they have that, they're like, why? Just like you like Dave the Diver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they have their Dave the Diver. Sometimes it's free. Sometimes it's all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so how, if you're a gaming company, do you break through? How do you so you either
how do you get this game, man?
How you either have to go flashy, right? Or you have to like something. That's why they're spending so much, right? Because then if the game doesn't look super flashy and it comes from Xbox or PlayStation, then we're like, we're destroying them, right? We're saying like, why did you create this like game that's not flawless? And so I think you're caught between two different.
I don't know if you remember back in the day. I don't know if you remember back in the day when we were young, right? Remember that
it's not Daytona.
We have GamePro, we had Nintendo Power, those magazines, right? And when Christmas came around, we're like, yeah, I want this game. I want this other game. We actually got to pick like 2 or 3 games for parents to get, and usually they buy you 1 or 2 tops, something like that. One was the maximum. 2 was too much, right? But these days now, and that's another thing on this Christmas list, guess what he wanted?
What?
So he wanted Roblox Cash. He wanted V-Bucks.
They do. Roblox Cash takes up like a whole thing at the Walgreens near me. It takes up like a whole, like all the other gaming gift cards combined.
Yeah, exactly.
Roblox Cash is like, that's what I'm saying. Hey, Aaron, what's going on? It's the only console that will thrive and survive. I would hope, Aaron. I hope. But Louis, I wanted to add, I'm actually really excited you came on here. Because there's a game I think you would like.
Which one?
Because you like this franchise. And everybody who I know likes this franchise really likes this game.
Which one is it?
It's the Terminator game that just came out.
I beat it already. I have everything completed. I already did 3 stories. It's done. Done and gone.
The pixelated one?
Yes, done and gone. I bought it on Sunday, finished it in 2 days.
What? So you beat it. You're done.
I'm done. Yeah, I finished it. I finished all 3 stories.
You liked it?
Listen, it's a Bitmap game. I love the Bitmap guys. They sent me some posters, and I always give them credit for the stuff they do. And to be honest, though, if for the price it is, it's between the $20 and $25 range. That's the proper price. I'm glad on Xbox it has a discount though. They have it in 30 regular, but it has a discount because on Xbox I think it's Game Pass or something. Or I don't know if elsewhere it's $25 for the digital though. But
this is a No Fate game. Terminator No Fate.
No Fate, yeah. That's the price range it deserves to be landing on, because at the end of the day, though, once you sit there and you play it, because I remember I played it, I was like, wait, I just finished this game. It's like, how? I was quick. And then I said, let me replay it again. Maybe I missed something. It's like, oh, there's another part of the story. Let me click on this. And then the story changes. I'm like, oh. Then I go and play it again, and the story changes, and you got like a shorter gameplay route for the last one, right? But at the end of the day, it was like a 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour run, right? But it's fun. I really loved it. It was fun. And to be honest, though, for a Terminator 2 game, I was like, finally, after all the pain and suffering all my life, we finally got a Terminator 2 game that actually deserves its justice. Happy to have a good Terminator 2 game. Because when it comes to Terminator games, right, the other one that's really good is it's out there. It's the same guys who did RoboCop. It was really good, even though it got some like around 5 ratings, something like that, right? 5 out of 10 when it came out or something like that. But it was such a great story behind it. It was called Terminator. I forgot Resistance. I think it is. It was really good.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked
well,
that.
I just so you already played it, so there you go. Like everybody I've talked to who's into Terminator really likes that game, but they all said the same thing. Like you go through, you're gonna enjoy it. It is like what $25 or $30. It is in that price range. So
yeah, if you can get it for 25, that's the price you should get it. 25, 20, that's the top. That's the price of that game. It's not 30. Don't get it for 30. Please don't.
Oh my god!
I love the studio, but
you're still in that 25, 30.
No, it is. Yeah, buy it for 25 or 20. Don't get it for 30. I mean, 30 is a bit expensive though for a 5-hour long game. I'm like, no.
Oh, it's fine because it's like the movie, right? It's basically the movie.
It's the thing is you have different story plots, right? You have the movie plot, the regular movie plot. Then you have the if you kill Miles Dyson, right? Because you get to choose that after you finish the first round. You get to kill Miles Dyson, and then you have that you kill Miles Dyson again, but using Sarah Connor. That's a different story. So the story changes 2 or 3 times. So it's interesting though to see how the story changes though.
How they would have changed it? Okay.
Yeah, they changed it. They added some stuff in there. Like what if, let's say the Terminator killed Miles Dyson, for example. Or what if Sarah Connor killed Miles Dyson? What would have happened? Pretty cool seeing that. Pretty cool. That what if part of the story is pretty cool. They also added like a couple cutscenes, but they're reading cutscenes, not like this cinematic thing. Which thank you, no cinematics.
How you don't like cinematics?
Oh, the thing is, cinematics. Sometimes you sit there like, you gotta wait 5 minutes to launch the game. I'm like, oh Lord, watch the story.
I live for the cinematics. I live for the cinematics.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Well, it depends. If it's a good cinematic, like I don't like a cinematic that doesn't push the story forward, or it's just like a cinematic for cinematic's sake. So a great example of this, Death Stranding. I don't like Death Stranding.
Wow.
Because why?
I loved it.
You like Death Stranding? I didn't like Death Stranding. I didn't like Death Stranding.
My favorite part of the game was
a bad game. I'm just saying I didn't like Death Stranding.
Nah, it's like me with Horizon though. I seriously just can't. I can't say it.
Horizon is not good if it's Sailor close that game.
I mean,
he played it in Lego and the regular one.
He played it in Lego. What?
She played it. She played the Lego Zalek. You don't know Zalek? She's from Australia. Zalek, she's in chat. She's right there. Zalek7. She's on Twitch. She does her streams on Monday and
I have to hunt her
Friday.
down then. Let me go at her right now.
She's really good. A
lot of people. Send me your Twitch, I can add you.
Yeah, no, Zalek's really cool. She's on Twitch and she streams on Monday and Fridays. And she does like a lot of cool games. She does really cool game playthroughs.
Cool, awesome.
So if you're on Twitch and you just on Monday and Friday.
Yeah, because when I'm at work, I go on Twitch. Just to watch people play games while I work. I just sit here like, oh, I died. I'm like, take that. Take that pain and suffering I've done. Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, and Mel likes it too. I don't know, Louis. A lot of people like that game. I've been told to play that game.
Horizon? Well, I mean, look, again, that's for personal take.
It's not Dave the Diver. It's not Dave the Diver.
I know. I love Dave the Diver. That's such a good game. It's just, I just love it. I can't stop talking about it. I can sit here and talk to you for hours of Dave the Diver. I love it so much. But
I gotta go check this one out.
But yeah, the thing is for Horizon though, sometimes it clicks with people, sometimes it doesn't. It depends, and pretty much I've heard a lot of people think like me, like it was okay, but it was kind of boring. I pushed through it, and I'm like, you know what? I just played for 5 hours and said I'm not gonna take this punishment. I mean, I don't want to look for 5 or 6 hours.
You didn't like Outer Worlds?
I never tried Outer Worlds though, to be honest though. I can't judge that one. I never tried. Never, not even one. I gotta try two.
Louis, what game are you looking forward to coming up?
What game am I looking forward to coming up? Oh.
So just to let you know, I'm doing my 26 most looked forward to games in 2026 in 2 weeks. That's my next Shades of Purple, and we're doing a whole bingo game. Related to it.
Why you gotta ask me that question? Because mine is simple. What game do you think I'm actually looking forward to? Let's see if you know me too well. Let's
Okay.
see.
All right.
Let's
All
see.
right. All right. All right. Crazy Louie. All right, y'all. And just I'm gonna guess here, Louie, but I do want to let people know this because I said it at the top of the show.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm doing my 26 games for 2026, and we're doing the bingo edition of that. So that means if you can create your own bingo card, put whatever games you think are going to be on that list. If you get bingo first, you'll get a prize. And if you can get as many games of my 26 games most look forward to, you will also get a prize. So it's going to be like Shades of Purple bingo. But if I had to think your most look forward to game of 2026.
Okay, let's see.
If I had to say what that is.
Mhm.
All right, you got to give me 2 guesses.
I'll give you 2 then.
Grand Theft Auto 6. No. Okay. If it's not Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay, it's not Grand Theft Auto 6.
If it was Red Dead Redemption, I would say yes. Because I love Red Dead. But okay.
But it's not Grand Theft Auto. Okay. So
Okay.
if it's because some people would be like, "Duh, it's my most lucky." So, but I haven't seen you play GTA, but I had to just get that out because that did win like the most look forward to game of 2026. Your most look forward to game of 2026. Give me a hint. What genre?
Wow, give you a hint. It's not an Xbox game. There you go. Because I think you're gonna take a guess.
Xbox doesn't have games anymore. Xbox doesn't have
they
games.
do. They do it from the first party.
I do. Gears?
That's an Xbox game. No, it's not. That's not it. No.
Yeah, it's not Xbox. Noisy. It's not. That's what I thought.
The most exciting game. I saw it recently, and I said, "Hell, fuck yeah, I'm playing this." Hellraiser. I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for Ilphonic's Halloween. Super excited for that one. I was deeply excited for the Terminator.
Wait, Ilphonics is making a Halloween game?
Yes, they are. Purple. Yes, they are. What do you think? Day by Daylight came out and said, we're gonna end the map of Halloween these days because Ilphonic's working on a Halloween game. They're delivering a Halloween game.
So they made the last Ghostbusters game, which Vet, when he was in here, was throwing mad shade on Ghostbusters.
Why?
I don't know why Vet doesn't like.
Ilphonic makes fun games. They're simple and fun. No headaches. Yeah,
so all right. So you're going with Hellraiser and Halloween. So you're going straight down horror.
Yep, I'm excited. Oh, Purple. I saw that trailer of Hellraiser. And each time I read articles about it, like I remember I read an article about someone who actually played a little bit about it. And he said, I have never seen the movies, but man, this is gory. I said, that's Hellraiser for you.
For which one? Hellraiser?
Yeah, I said, that's Hellraiser. That's what I want. Because that's the thing, though. Like I'm more excited for these indie games or all the companies making these different title games than these big titles. Like, for example, Halo. Okay, we're getting a Halo. But yeah, what Halo is, it's the movie.
How could a Hellraiser game be? Like, how would a Hellraiser game work?
How would a Hellraiser game work? Well, I mean,
I'm just curious. Like, how does a Halloween game work?
Oh, the Halloween, kind of like the Friday the 13th game. You got to run away from the killer.
Survive. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Got killer clown, stuff like that. Yeah. It's Ilphonic. Ilphonic likes to do those games like that, which they make it pretty fun. But for Hellraiser, though, it's a first-person, pretty much shooter, right? And you got to get away from the Xenobites. And you have, of course, your Pinhead. You have I forgot the names of the Xenobites. My God, I saw that movie the other day. But yeah, you got away from them.
I haven't seen it in so long.
So long, yeah.
Like a long time.
When I saw the trailer, I saw the gore, I saw the nudity, I was like, yep, this is definitely a Hellraiser game. And as soon as I read the article, though, because I was a bit worried, though. And as soon as I read the article, I said, okay, this is the game I'm playing. That's when I got super excited.
So you're not into, because chat was saying Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, well, here's the thing, though. I love Resident Evil games, right? I love them, but I'm not like, because for me, I always say the best Resident Evil game out of all the Resident Evil games is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That was the best one. That was the one
Resident Evil 3, not Resident Evil 4? I hear a lot of people like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I know they like Resident Evil 4. But the problem with Resident Evil 4, though, is because the guys talked in Spanish. And so when they came out like, all I did was like, man, I'm laughing here because it's not scary to me. Because, if I did not know Spanish, it would have been scary. Like, what does he say? That sounds creepy. But I hear it, I just start laughing. I'm like, look at this dude trying to scare me. He's gonna scare me like this.
Louis, I have a game coming out that I haven't showed this trailer. You want to see this trailer of a game that I'm looking forward to?
Which game? Sure. I want to see.
You want to see this one? I think because I got to represent half of my culture here. But all right, so we're talking about it. I wasn't going to show this to people, but I'm going to show it.
Is that the game you're investing in? Because I know you were investing into a game, though.
Nah, I didn't. We'll talk about that in a second. But here's the game.
Okay. I thought
this is, if y'all want a freebie on your bingo card, this will be in my top 26. All right, here we go.
Okay, let's see.
Cuando al pasar yo te vi, salías del templo un día, llorona, cuando al pasar yo te vi. Hermoso vivir llevabas, llorona, que hasta la Virgen te creí. Hermoso vivir llevabas, llorona, que hasta la Virgen te creí. Ay de mi llorona, 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 alma doliente. Ay de mi llorona, 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 alma doliente. Que tu sombra me deje, llorona, aunque mi pena te cuente. Que tu sombra me deje, llorona, aunque mi pena.
Why no dates? I hate it when they do that. Oh, that looks so wicked.
What?
My God. I love those combos. You see?
Yeah.
That's what we need in games.
When you mentioned the Spanish, I was like, oh, I think I just recently saw it. So I was like, yeah. So I was like,
so cool.
Yeah, no, I think because I've been into like that kind of game because I just beat Shinobi, right? It's kind of been probably the same little thing. And so I'm going back to like my side scrolling roots, but I was like, oh man, this one like this one looks
because I'm tired of these big ass games, like going over there running around and then you like keep on doing the same thing.
No, but that's like different, right? It's like telling a different story. It's like
exactly. That's when they get creative. That's when they get creative.
Cool. Exactly. Cool. I'm glad the chat likes it. Yeah. So, La Lorena,
play Dave the Diver. You got to play that game. It's on sale. Get it. It's on sale now.
Maybe I may get it because it's not a big game. It's not a big game, right? It's a fairly small game.
To be honest, though, because here's the thing about Dave the Diver, right?
It's file size.
No, it's not a big game. It's a small. It's a really small game. But the thing is, camera, stop zooming. So the thing is, right? The thing is about that game, you start the game and then you have to like build up, like you got to build up your gear, make the gear better so you can dive deeper, fight sharks, fight gigantic squids. And it's just, but the thing is, it's such a hilarious game. I mean, literally, you know how the game starts? The guy's sitting on a beach. What's that thing that you lay on the beach?
A beach towel?
You know those things that you lay on a beach chair. He's laying on the beach chair. He's enjoying the beach, and all of a sudden you see a hermit crab go up his leg, and he grabs him, pinches him, where. Literally, that's how the game starts, and it just keeps on adding funny and funny. It just gets funnier and funnier.
I'll say I remember when it came out. I didn't play it, but
I didn't either. But now, because the funny thing is, you got so many events, you got so many stuff happening. I love when they go into competitions. Like, for example, you literally like play the game, and all you've been doing is fishing. You fish, bring back the fish sushi restaurant. You got to add it to the menu. start the restaurant, sell your fish, and sell the sushi, right? And then all of a sudden you see this VIP guy come in and say, "Yeah, you're gonna have a versus battle with this guy." And then the chef tells you, "Okay, I want you to collect this, 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 this," and you collect everything. Come back to the sushi. You got 2 days to collect it. Come back to the sushi place, and all of a sudden you got a sushi mini game. You start cooking the sushi right in front of you. I'm like, what? How did this get into this game? And then you have, like, for example, the farm. You got to build the farm, though. You got to get money to build the farm. Then you got to go in and have a fish farm. You gotta get eggs to breed the fish. You can send it to the restaurant, and it just keeps on adding and adding and adding. I'm just having so much fun.
That's a fight. You were talking. I am good. So this, Louis, I didn't tell you before. I'm in actually my office right now.
Yeah.
Because this is in my studio, so my Switch is actually up there. So I'll go get it.
Get it for the Switch. Get it for the Switch. It's definitely you're gonna love it. It's because another thing is so relaxing. Because you're relaxed, you're just going down, catching fish, just relax, just enjoying the ride. That's it. I don't know why it just relaxes me playing that game. It does.
Because isn't it? I think it's a cozy game, isn't it?
It's a cozy game, but it's fun too. It's fun. It's fun. It's got comedy in it. There's also a Balatro in the game. I was like, wait, Balatro's in this too? I was like, no way. Oh,
I'll give it a shot. I'm hearing solid things, and I think a couple of people in chat gave it thumbs up. Audi, I believe, which is his Hades. Audi's a really cool gamer as well.
Hades, another game. That game is punishing.
Hades is punishing, but the people who like Hades like Hades. Like that's the one thing I'll say. The people who like Hades like Hades. So I took it. Dr. Oz won't want to hear about that. What?
Which one?
No, he says the entire game sits in RAM, and Dr. Oz won't want to hear about what. I don't know. I don't know. Marcus says weird thing. I'm just reading chat. If you can't see chat.
But Purple, at the end of the day, though, we don't know what's gonna happen next year. It's gonna be interesting, but we know what's gonna happen.
I think here's what I think is gonna happen. And I was gonna do predictions. There's gonna be another stream where I do like what I got right in 2026 because I did 10 predictions for 2025. I think I got over half of them correct.
Oh, you're gonna do a Nostradamus stream? Nice.
I already did. I did. I got half of them correct. I said Nintendo Switch was going to be the best-selling console launch ever.
That was easy.
This was in 2020. Okay, I said that one. I said the consolidation was going to continue. I said there's a whole bunch of them I got.
What do you think about the Netflix WB buy? Is it going to proceed? Is there going to be regular war again?
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because here's the difference. Yeah. Unlike ABK, WB isn't doing well. So ABK was doing well. Mm-hmm. Now theoretically, in order for Skydance, that's actually a really good story. Like in order for Skydance to do it, they have the cash, right? But they're trying to get it at a discount. And they took a big hit this week because they lost Jared Kushner. His private equity firm was going to be part of an investor, and they were going to help get the deal through, similar to what they're doing for Saudi Arabia with EA.
Oh, so, that's another thing, though.
So that one's going to go through. That one will go through. But the WB versus
ABK, because it was
Netflix. I think at the end of the day, if it goes through, it's going to be with very solid conditions. The biggest of which is they may say, hey, you can't take HBO, but you can have Warner Brothers. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, they'll say you can take Warner Brothers, but you can't take HBO.
Okay, I see.
I could see that happening. Okay. Or because that's the only place where I think it does overlap. In which case, if they say that, Netflix may say we want out. Okay. If they force them into that, because that's there is solid overlap there. Mm-hmm. But Skydance, they still also have the issue. They have issues as well, and then there is also Universal or what is it? NBC, Comcast. Comcast has a say as well. So I don't think it's over, but I think if it is Netflix, it goes through conditions, like very strong conditions.
Very strong conditions. Yeah, I have that feeling too, but I think it will go through though. If it does, it will go through. I know they're going to put conditions on it because, you know, we got Hollywood on the other side. They're already out there ranting. You know, Hollywood is out there saying, hey, wait a minute, this is going to affect us, movies, blah, blah, blah.
Some of Hollywood. So like it actually impacts me in a way. Because like in another one of my roles, traditionally as a creator, as someone who pitches to big studio houses, traditionally you pit HBO against Netflix. And so like if you take one of them off of the table, theoretically I can't get in a bidding war for my IP, because they both traditionally are those bidding people. So like if you take one of the from a creator standpoint, that's like the biggest thing is now like traditionally you have Amazon, Netflix, HBO, and now Apple. So if you take one of the three away, it's actually, and they're considered the second largest. It means that it's less likely I'll get in a bidding war, and then therefore the price doesn't go as high. So that is the reason. However, I think Hollywood is a little bit delusional at the moment. Like I think Netflix does have an argument to be made to say like, look, it's no longer about Netflix versus Disney versus Amazon. It's literally about Netflix versus like YouTube, Netflix versus.
I also have a theory behind it. I think Netflix is going to do a YouTube thing. I think Netflix is going to start like doing a stream thing like YouTube. I don't know why, but I have that feeling in the back of my mind.
It would be. Here's the reason why I would say no.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Okay.
The reason I say no is the same reason YouTube got out of creating content.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
If you go back like 5-6 years ago,
YouTube
used to have shows, right?
They did Karate Kid, Cobra Kai. I remember it was there. They got out of it. Yeah.
So why did they get out of it? They got out of it because they're not strong at it. That's not their they're not going to beat Netflix, right? So why would Netflix get into it?
Yeah. I see, because we have Kick, we have Rumble. That still hasn't even taken
Amazon can't even Twitch isn't taking on YouTube, and then the only thing that can take on YouTube is literally TikTok. Right. So you're now going to say you're going up against TikTok and Reels and like, no, there's it's going to cost you too much. So you're going to double down where you have a competitive advantage, and they have a competitive advantage with their subscriber base. So that's why they want to get HBO and all this other stuff, because they're like, in order for us to even compete against YouTube, we have to have so much more content. So I don't think you would see that necessarily play out, because it's like Purple saying like, okay, let me invest a ton of money doing console war content when the people who watch console war content are gonna, you know what I mean? Like how much do I have to change?
That's gonna change, but it's gonna take a while, because they still to this day, they're not accepting the change. I'm like, okay, but we'll continue about the console war thing. They still don't. They're not accepting. But that's gonna take a long time, to get that out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason for me to go into that, just because there's other people who do that type of content. So like, I don't think Netflix would do that. I think Netflix is in the market for it. It's very interesting because Netflix doesn't traditionally buy. They don't traditionally buy. So what that signals to me is like, they're actually starting to it just signals something very like like Netflix traditionally has been where creators go.
Yep.
So if they're buying IP,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right play or not.
I'll be honest with you, because when I look at shows in Netflix, right? For example, I don't know if you saw the Dahmer show.
Yes.
And all those shows, I know that Netflix is not afraid to push the envelope. So I hope that if they do get it, please get it. Fix the DC universe, make the DC universe the way it should be nowadays. Back in the day, I get it. And you got your DC cartoons, leave the DC cartoons for the kids and all that stuff. But yeah, you gotta make DC the way it is. You gotta make Batman the way it is. You gotta make Superman the way it is and all that stuff. You gotta get it that way. So let's see. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I could see DC with Netflix. I mean, Netflix has history with they had that partnership with Marvel, right? Like if you think of some of like way back, like when you had those Marvel Netflix series. So yeah, I just don't think they're going to get HBO. Yeah,
you're
remember?
right. I forgot about that too. Yeah, I forgot they had the Punisher. They had a Daredevil. Wait, Lucifer's DC.
No. They had the one with the girl. I want to say Sarah Jessica Parker, but that's not the name of the show. It's called Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones. Remember that? Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
They had Luke Cage or Luke
Cage.
Yeah.
Punisher.
Yeah, they had a whole like slate of them, and then Disney brought them back. So like,
brought them back, yeah.
So I could see them like. That's why I say I think they'll get Warner Brothers, but I don't think they'll get HBO. Like that's almost a bridge too far. If the regulators let that one go through, it literally would have to come with like huge stipulations.
Yeah, of course. Like, that's why I'm asking you, because you know a lot of this stuff. And I'm investing money, so I don't know if I should or not. So I'm investing.
Invest in who? In who?
In Netflix. I'm investing in Netflix right now. I'm investing in Netflix, so that I can go up.
I mean, Netflix went up a lot. No, I'm invested in Warner Brothers. But I've been invested in Warner Brothers for a long time.
For a long time, yeah. That dropped down to 20, 25 or something.
Well, I got them when so they used to be part of AT&T. So I was invested in AT&T, and then AT&T went down. Then they split. So so now it's up, but yeah, it was down for a long, long time. Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to play out for a long time. They're going to be used as a political thing.
Yeah, that's another thing I saw.
But again, I don't know. The Ellisons. Here's the problem. Like, if the deal does go through, I don't know. I don't think that's good. I mean, if the deal does go to the other group, I don't know if that's a good thing either.
Like, so you mean Paramount? Paramount? No, but Netflix said no already to them. I read the yesterday.
No, so Warner Brothers said no to. Okay, so
Warner Bros.
It's all chess right now. So Warner Brothers. So Paramount made a $30 per share deal, right?
Yeah, they went nuts.
Warner Brothers said no. We like our Netflix deal better.
Yeah.
But what they actually did is they signaled to. This is like reading between the lines. They signaled to Paramount that they're open to it. And the way they signaled that to Paramount is they said, hey, in order for, essentially this is what the reply is.
I got it.
Is in order for us to say yes, you need to do X, Y, Z.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now what that's going to do is Paramount is going to probably secure the funding they need.
Yeah.
But Netflix really wants this. So then now you get this situation where you get a bidding war, right? Yeah. And don't be surprised if Comcast comes like over the ropes.
Really?
It jumps.
Wow.
Yes, you're talking about you're talking about one of the most storied
holy smokes, I didn't think about that either.
Yeah, ones there that are coming through. Also, don't be surprised if it does get split up. This is going to shock people. Don't be surprised. The two other people I think could jump into this and make it really interesting. Apple
Oh
could
yeah, Apple
could kick
do
the
that,
tires.
yeah.
Apple could kick the tires. And even though they've already said no, I also think they can make a play for Warner Brothers that would be very strong.
Ooh.
Sony.
Sony, huh?
Sony could.
I mean, they just
Because-
bought Peanuts though right now.
Yeah, but what the thing is no, they didn't.
Yeah,
So
they
what the
did.
thing,
They did. They bought Peanuts. They did. Right.
Charlie Brown? Charlie Brown?
Yeah, they bought
Oh,
Peanuts.
my mom will be happy about that. So
they bought Peanuts right
so like we need our media to reflect our lives and extrapolate. No, okay, I don't think I do agree with that. But so the reason why is because Warner Brothers, what they're trying to do is what they've said is like, hey, in 2026, we're going to split all of these out so that buyers can buy each of the entities one-on-one. And so if you see that happening, then it starts to become like a scrap sale, and you can buy more. And what Paramount wants to do is they want to buy everything whole. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, but
Wow.
I would not be surprised if Paramount within the next few weeks.
They come back and say, okay, what are the conditions now? What? I see what you mean there. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So like if they had rejected it outright, that would have been, but now here's the other kicker. If Warner Brothers reneges on the deal, they owe Netflix $2.5 billion.
What? Why?
And if Netflix reneges on the deal, they owe Warner Brothers $5 billion.
Oh wow.
So there's
Wow.
a lot of political.
Yeah, there is a
pressure.
lot of wow. This is gonna be a big battle. It's gonna be interesting.
And then to make it even more crazy, you have the political angle in it, which is that because the Ellisons who own Paramount,
Mhm.
they have good cozy relationships in the United States.
Well,
They
why
do
did-
not have cozy
why did
relationships.
that was weird that Kushner backed out. He said, "I'm out." I was like, that's weird though. When I saw him pull
Kushner
out.
backed out because they really weren't putting up that much. Like, I think what people are starting to see, Kushner has there's risk with working with him, because what's happening also behind the scenes is that people are signaling if the power goes back to the Democrats, they're going to investigate all these deals to see if there was bribery. And so when you say like you have the president's son-in-law as part of the deal at evaluation to get it through,
Wow. Oh,
that sounds a lot like bribery, right? Like if I'm paying your
Ooh,
family
yeah,
member to
yeah.
get the deal through, that sounds, and JP Morgan Chase's CEO just came out and said, like, we're not donating to any of this because essentially this could be perceived as
Oh, bribery.
bribery. And so I think Kushner's firm
Told him you need to
is-
back out, leave.
or Kushner's firm is feeling heat that potentially they can't, if a deal does do something. So there's a ton of stuff
Wow.
that this deal has in place. And so, but this is what I would say is modern day warfare. This is what
Yeah.
but modern day warfare looks like.
Yeah, because I found it weird because I was like, how all of a sudden a company that last year was being pursued to be purchased because it wasn't doing so well. That was Paramount, right? I mean, Sony and what was the other one? Apollo, right? There was these two companies that were trying to buy Paramount, right? Last year, remember? It was Sony and Apollo, I think it was, looking to buy it. All of a sudden, they go out there and say, okay, I have 108 billion right here. Come over here. I'm like, where did you guys get this shit ton of cash? And then I see that they got the loan from Saudi Arabia, wasn't it? I think that's what I read.
Ooh, for what, Paramount?
Paramount, yeah. So in order to get
No,
Netflix,
so Skydance?
I think that's what I
Skydance-
read.
Skydance bought Paramount, but not for that much. Skydance bought Paramount
Oh, Paramount
But
was
either way, they do. Yeah,
last year.
Skydance, Skydance,
Oh.
Skydance. So
see
the company's name is Skydance. So
Okay,
Sky
okay.
Media, like Sky Media, that is owned by a guy named David Ellison.
Yeah, listen. Okay, I see it right now.
Okay, so what they do is
wow.
something called a leverage buyout.
Okay.
So what a leverage buyout means is like I can technically, essentially what it means is I take out a loan
Yeah.
against the value of the thing I'm buying.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
let's say you, so let's, did I say something noisy? Oh, wow. So what that means is like, let's say you want to buy a house, okay? Let's say the house is $10 million. And you're like, I don't have $10 million. Well, someone else will say like, hey, if I buy the house for $10 million, but that house is truly valued at $10 million, I can theoretically take out a loan against the sale, against the value of the house. Yeah. So it's a leverage. So that's why, that's how they're able to do it, is if they can say, okay, this is valued at XYZ amount, and that's why we can do it. And so that's why Netflix is attempting to buy Warner Brothers and HBO, because those are the two most valuable pieces of that entire deal. CNN and all the other like Lifetime and whatever else you have, Turner Classic, that stuff's not worth anything. So, yeah. So that's how they can do it. That's how Sony can do it. That's why when you have billions of dollars in assets and you're buying it, the rules they look very different. They look very different.
Interesting. That's interesting though. That's interesting to hear. So it's better right now, instead of aiming to invest into Netflix, it's better to invest into Warner Bros. Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a tricky play. That's a tricky play.
That's a tricky play? Okay. Never
because
mind.
if the deal falls through, the value of Warner Brothers drops. Because the only reason Warner Brothers is trading so high is because we think it's going to get sold.
Okay.
Does that mean? So if you were to invest, if I were to tell Crazy Louie where to invest, I would say invest. How long do you want to hold this investment for?
For a while. I'll just let it sit, because after they sign off to buy, it's gonna take a while. Because it's gotta go to regulators, gotta go to CMA, gotta go to FTC, What happened with the
if you're gonna like when you say a while, you mean like 10 years?
Wait, this is a deal that's gonna last 10 years?
No, I'm just saying, how long do you want your investment to last?
Oh, until the deal goes through.
Oh, you want that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, usually that's a big spike. But no. But after that, though, of course, if it's good, you just leave it there.
So what I would say is this. This is what I predict is going to happen.
Okay.
I predict in the next few weeks or something, there's going to be some drama where the deal falls. That no deal's going to happen. No deal's going to happen. That's what I feel like it's going to. Meaning Sky Media is going to say, okay, we don't want it anymore. And it's going to be like, oh no, like the deal may get scrutiny from the regulators. And then the media is going to create this storm that like the deal's not going to go through. At that time, Warner Brothers stock is going to drop. Okay. I don't know where it's going to drop to, but it's going to drop to like $25 a share, $26 a share. I don't know. Anything in the mid 20s, 24, 20. At that point, buy Warner Brothers. And then, because it always happens like this, and then both bidders are going to come back in and they're going to both have like $32 a share. And then you're going to see the stock price jump like 20, 25%.
Okay.
That's my play. I would wait for it to drop.
Okay, if that happens.
Then I would, if that happens, then jump in and then buy.
And Purple's going to go to the see, Lou, you remember I told you this? We got this.
I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, Louis. I've been doing it a long time. So
I know.
it's a scary investment for Sony. They don't think they have the balls. It would be, but I think Sony's at the point where they're competing. Like,
Oh, the thing, but I think that's another thing though. You mentioned Sony though, but I think Sony's gonna go for it for a buy because it got a lawsuit going through next year. It's gonna be a tough lawsuit for them to face. I don't know if they're gonna win or not.
with that key.
Oh, then don't you know they have a $6 billion lawsuit in the UK? I mean, €6 billion lawsuit in the UK. They also have one in Dutchland. They also have
what?
one for the PlayStation Store practices that
That'll be
consumers is
settled. That'll be settled.
I know that'll be settled, but it'll be settled by a lot of cash though. Because I mean, in the States they had
It'll
one,
be,
and the States they
be
had
settled
one,
for, like-
and yeah, it's
it'll be
gonna be
like this.
insane.
It's going to be like, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
That's gonna be an interesting case to follow.
It's not
too,
going to
though.
be. I think
'Cause
they're going to set.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. For the first time in a long time, I'm pretty freaked out about this. I'm like, please, please, please. I hope they set up for
Why?
something. Lord, can you imagine that if those guys win? It's a €7 billion lawsuit, and Dutchland comes in with another lawsuit.
You have
and
to
they win?
understand regulators. Yeah, like I think, but you got to understand regulators.
Okay,
Regulators aren't like if it was Google or Facebook or one of these companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, regulators would be like, no, you're gonna pay. All you have to do is look at it like this. How big is the biggest lawsuit big tech has faced in the EU? It's like probably 4 billion. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, this one's 7.
It's like 4. So yeah, but regulators aren't in the business. Like, they're not in the business to hamper or to destroy a business. That's
Oh,
not
I
what
know.
they're doing.
I
Yeah,
know.
so they're not going
I know.
to take. They're using a $7 billion threat to
Yeah.
get Sony to agree to behavioral remedies. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so what Sony's going to say is like, okay, you don't have a court case. You don't have if we were to really play this out, you can't win your court case. Because it's not against privacy, it's not against something else. So what they're going to agree to some terms. Sony's going to probably take some hit on profitability, but there's going to be some loophole. So they're not going to take, but these are totally different divisions.
Yeah.
Sony gaming storefront versus Sony media are two totally different parts of the business.
Oh, no. I know. If they do win, I'm like,
They're not going to win, Louis. They're not.
I mean,
trying
they
to-
settle, but here's the thing, though, because you know how things are, right? They pick up information from elsewhere. In the States, they settle, and they said, we're going to give you game card code, something like that. PS Plus, a code card, something like that to players. And the court backed out and said, nope, we ain't going to deal with this. We're going to do it another way. So they like after cash over here in the States. So imagine that they settle over there, and these guys are going to pick this up and say, well, you guys settled. You guys are doing something wrong. Here I come over here. I'm like, oh, man.
They're not going to do it. No, I just don't think that, for one, a couple of reasons. The EU and the UK have stricter antitrust.
Yeah,
So
they do.
there's
Because
no way-
there were ones who literally made the ABK deal, the way it is today. I mean, they really pushed for the ABK deal to be different. The CMA did, right? Yeah, CMA did. That was one thing you even said it. Another way to go through that they had to do some changes, for it to go through. And so, yeah, let's see.
They try to help Xbox out, but Xbox made it personal, and now I think Xbox loses that at the end of the day. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it's really worth it.
They're
It's too much
making
of
their
a headache.
money. They're making their money. They're doing.
How?
That's a good question, though, because that revenue just keeps on spiking up. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I'm trying to learn how, but that revenue keeps on spiking. I don't get it. I just don't.
It's not revenue, Louis. It's profitability.
I know. Revenue versus profit, I know. Look at Game Pass, great $5 billion revenue. I don't know how, but I just don't. Things are changing. That's all I say.
Well, but that's my thing. I don't think Sony will go for it. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if you see Apple jump in, you see Sony jump in at some points to buy certain parts.
Certain parts, yeah. I mean, that's the only way.
That's all.
I think, yeah, that could happen, though. I can see that happening, too. But let's see.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's see. Let's wait to see. If Netflix gets it, like, yes. but then we have
No.
regulator talk, and we're like, no.
It's gonna take a
regulators.
while. It's gonna take a while, and
Yeah,
This
it's
one's
gonna
not
take.
over.
It's probably gonna take like 3 or 4 years, 5 years tops. Some of the deals gonna be. Oof,
depends.
depends.
It depends on who the ultimate winner comes out to be. If it's
Yeah.
Netflix, it will take 2 to 3 years. If it's Sky Media, it'll probably take 12 to 15 months. And if it's
Yeah.
Apple, it'll be done like that.
No, we don't like that.
People tell
Yeah.
me because if you aren't awarded more in damages than you are offered, you pay both legal fees and get none of the award. Yeah, but the CMA also wants to settle. Nobody wants to go. It's too much hassle. And nobody wants to go to court.
Yeah. No, I think they did. No, they are going to court though because they set a court date. Hold on, let me look for it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, it's the first phase.
That's the first phase.
It's the
Yeah.
first phase, right?
It says
Like
several
the
lawsuits have run, some currently with the key court date scheduled for January 2026. It's the UK class action lawsuit, which is a 6.3 billion euros, $7.9 billion. Abuse of dominant
class
market
action.
position.
It's a class action. Oh,
class
wait.
action.
It's a class action.
Class action? Yeah. UK class action.
That's a little different.
Oh, what happened? What happens in class action though? I mean, you're the pro at this. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not the pro, but a class action is different. A class
Really?
action is, yeah, it's who's bringing them to court.
Oh, okay. I see them. I see. It's not the regulators then. Uh-oh.
It's a class. So some type of class of consumer is bringing Sony to court. That's a different ball game.
Mayor UK class action lawsuit by 6.3 alleges that Sony abuses dominant market position to charge excessive prices for digital games and in-game content via PlayStation Store. Pre-trial review, February 12, 2026. Trial commencement, March 2, 2026, with an estimate duration of 10 weeks. Uh-oh. You know what that means for me, Purple? It's gonna be 10
what?
That means 10 weeks of non-stop talk about that.
It'll be interesting. Like it'll be interesting. It's a class action that they can then appeal. They can then appeal, and then they can appeal again. But the thing about it that the class action is going to have to deal with is, if there was wrongdoing, why did the regulators not catch it? And so that's the thing that they're gonna have to contend with. Is like so I said I'm not it doesn't mean that they're not gonna win. I'm not saying they're not gonna win. I'm just
but it's
saying
a fight
that
there.
yeah, I'm just saying you're not going up against the CMA or the EU.
Oh, okay.
You're going up against a group of consumers and their lawyer.
Yep.
So you have to
see
what happens on that one.
Oh Lord, 2 months and 2 weeks of that talk. Oh.
Yeah, but you have a lot of fun. But Louis, let people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, we gotta go. I've been here ranting. Oh
yeah,
Lord.
I know. So you made the good show. I need to come back on your show.
Oh yeah, we need to come. Yeah, Purple.
You wanted to do that thing. You said you wanted to, we need to go back.
Yeah, we
needed to talk.
We wanted to. We needed to talk about something. What was it? I don't remember.
Ask me.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just
we gotta schedule that. Yeah. Or you can find me Simple Xbox International Podcast. Look for it on YouTube, just like that. Xbox International Podcast. That's where you can find me every single morning on the Good Morning Crazy Louis show. That's it, from Mondays to Saturdays. Simple and easy. Purple, thank you for having me on. I know I went here, we ranted and we switched the show.
We went everywhere. It's
a fun conversation though, always.
Yeah. Thank you, Crazy Louis, for coming on, making it interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Purple. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louis. I'm going to shut it down.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. In chat, thank you all for bearing with me as I am in my, not in the studio today. If y'all are just catching up, my basement flooded. And so my studio is not flooded, but the room next to the studio is flooded. And so there's fans and everything. And Remy didn't want to go. I don't know where Remy is right now, but he didn't want to stay down there. So that's why we did it upstairs. But with that said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm streaming this weekend. I'll say it like that. But for now, If I don't see you all until, my goodness, Shades of Purple in a few weeks, hopefully I see you sooner. But if I don't, hopefully everybody has a happy holiday season. Stay safe. If you're having a hard time gaming, it's totally okay. You can go like watch a movie, go outside, do something. But if you are gaming, you're still good with me. And so, as always, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, y'all. Take care. If you want to check out, I'll be on Zalix chat tomorrow. So if you want to catch us, catch me there. All right. Well, take care, everybody. And I will see you on the next one. All right. Later.